There we go. Welcome to another episode of Let's Just Talk About It with your amazing host, me, Jessica Simone. And it's Monday, so tonight we're talking about white people. What made you start deconstructing racism? Was it Christianity? Was it college? Was it your family? And we are now about to get into that conversation. So thank you guys for being here. Please hit the thumbs up button. Give me a follow. A subscribe if you have not done so. And please feel free to engage in the conversation. And of course, here on the Tiki Taki, if you also too are a white person, you want to talk about what made you start deconstructing and the things that you've experienced, please, please, please request us. This is an open panel. So, Geekster, how are you today?
Good.
What made you start deconstructing racism?
I'm not white. I was wondering what do you mean by deconstructing racism?
What made you start? What made you request that?
Mm, 'Cause I want to challenge your views. I'm trying to debate.
It's not a debate line.
And also, what do you mean by deconstructing racism? Like,
The-
what made white people stop being racist?
What made white people? Where I was particularly talking to white people. That's why I was wondering what made you want to request up. It's not a debate live. We're discussing what made them start deconstructing racism.
I can answer it.
How can you answer?
Cause I talk to them.
Okay, and what they tell you.
It's kind of uh most of the reasons probably because they probably just want equality in their religion also. But also because
Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Court.
also because if realistically their religion, which is usually Christianity, I'm not Christian by the way, but usually their religion Christianity usually um contradicts with racism, so most of them stop being racist, obviously. Common sense.
What part of Christianity contradicts racism?
I'm not Christian, but usually most religions are for equality and how everybody's equal, stuff like that. And I'm gonna guess, and I'm not Christian, but s- I feel like I'm pretty sure Christianity uh conflicts with racism. I'm pretty sure
Where?
with the fact that uh at least to them, God made all of them equal in His eyes, stuff like that, lines like that.
How?
What do you mean? Are we not all humans?
No, but God had a chosen people, meaning that he set a hierarchy. Therefore, there cannot be equity or equality in which he has a chosen people.
Well, hierarchy in 2025. You talking about? You think there's a racial hierarchy in 2025?
You think there's not?
No, like I'm black. I could do whatever I want. I'm chilling.
Okay. Well, uh, stay black, okay?
You said stay black.
Yeah. 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 I don't know why. You know what I don't understand is it could literally say white people. And you'd be like, you know what? This is the conversation that I should be having. You got school tomorrow. Okay. And then when you say you can speak for them and you can say something, humor me. Then all of a sudden I get nothing. What did he have, you guys? Let me find it. I have nothing. Bruh. What make you think that this was your conversation? See, you trying to steal they shine. You trying to steal they shine. This is a opportunity to speak, and you trying to steal they Mickey Picky shine. You can call yourself Christian and not follow the teachings because of racist views. This guy, I don't even think he knows anything that's going on, Drew. I just don't. I don't even think he's there. But somebody requested up earlier. Please tap the screen and let's continue to get to 10K. I think it's very interesting. Oh, I'm not wondering why I can't hear myself because I got it turned down too low. It sounded kind of weird, like you couldn't hear me almost. I'm gonna reset. Yes, give me a follow if you guys have not done so. Tap the screen, share the live with a friend or two. If you have a friend who has been deconstructing or working on it, or you are a white person who wants to talk about when you started to deconstruct and the things that made you deconstruct, because I think it's important for us to get deep into the White House, not the Oval Office. Literally inside your White House. Thank you so much, Joanna. I appreciate that. Let me do that. So this is a way we can knock out our gift gallery. And at the same time, I think somebody needs to send, let me see how many. Somebody needs to send 8 donuts. So I'm gonna put 20, 25. I have nothing. So what was I talking about over there until we get them in there?
So their prompt was Black people commit the majority of violent crime.
Hmm.
And it was like, that's abjectly false. Um, he's like, well, no, if we go by per capita. I was like, what are you basing this off of? And he's like, off the FBI. I was like, that's arrests. What are her
That's gonna be
convictions?
my topic tomorrow. White people commit the most violent. I bet they come in here yelling at me.
Yeah, they
I'm gonna get
do.
all my stats together, so make sure you send me that.
Oh, I'll send you a bunch of them because I was like pointing out, I was like, really, that's an interesting point of view. I was like, the majority of serial unalivers, majority of spree unalivers, majority of
Tree.
um, child SAers, majority of, just SAers in general,
Mhm.
majority of CSAM, majority of, of like violent crimes that have like massive impact. And you're like, you can't, you see, you're just dogpiled and you can't do that. That's not how we debate. I was like, you don't know how to debate because you don't have facts. It was like, if you're going by the FBI statistics, those are just arrests. I'm going by conviction rates. And if we're going by conviction rates, again, white teen males make up the majority of people who are on the child sex abuse,
Coach.
watch. And he's like, no, you can't say that because that's just the ones that got caught. I was like, which is a conviction, which means the others were let go because they either didn't have enough evidence or they found the actual perpetrator. I was like, so which one? And then they started losing their shit and they're like, do you even know what per capita means? I was like, I'm going to teach it to you so you understand per capita. I was like, do you know math? And I was like, have you heard of fractions? I was like, have you ever heard of this thing called finding the common denominator and then dividing? I was like, so basically what we try to do is get 100.
Oh, that
100
was you.
is the number. Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay, I'm
Sorry.
like I ain't heard that sound before.
Yeah, I was like, do you know how we get to 100? I was like, so it's based off of making the common denominator being 100. And then we break it up by statistics. I was like, so again, if you're only going by arrest, I was like, that's an incorrect choice of statistics. You have to go by convictions. And when we go to convictions, that puts white teen males at the top. I was like, you guys are literally only 27% of the total population of males, of the total population. No, we're not. We're 31. I was like, no, you were 31. But that's not the case anymore. I
Hmm.
was like, especially once they took out them Hispanics. I was like, so once we take those out, let's look at your numbers. You guys are literally 26% to 27% of the total of the total population. And yet, when we go to convictions, you all make up 77.1% of all CSAM
Hmm.
convictions. I was like, when it goes to SAs, you guys still make up 62.5% of all sexual assault convictions. I was like, I like to go with the convictions as opposed to the arrests because arrests are very, one innocuous point of view because just because someone's arrested for something doesn't mean that they actually did it or they were convicted. I was like, you have to use the conviction rates. So let's look at convictions if you just want to do that. And they're like, well, you can't. I was like, actually, I can because that's how we determine crime on the convictions. And I mean, they dropped me before I could point out. I was like, it's not like, I was like,
They
but
don't
the
like hearing
question,
that part.
no,
Hey,
they lose their
Monks. Hey,
shit.
Mo.
And Zay came up and he was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? That's white females. Y'all do all the crime. And I was like sitting there and I put in the comments, I was like, Black people don't commit schmenocide, like not in massive numbers.
Mhm.
We've had two. Um, y'all have had like 175. So 2 to 175. Let's keep going. You all unalive children at an insane number, like insane rate. Like y'all be just taking out kids. And then the dudes, you guys, do you need, like, they're trying to be racist? And I was like, it's so funny that people with like 400 followers are like crying because a bunch of people who are Black, who are supposed to be less than, have far more followers than you do and are actually able to do, like, tell you exactly why you're wrong. And well, I go by FBI statistics. I was like, that's cute, but you have to look at the conviction rate.
Mhm.
And that's where they always lose everything because they can't handle convictions.
H-
Because once you get to
Hold on really quick.
convictions,
Tooks,
that's
did you request up on purpose or accident?
Oh, hi.
Hi, did you request up on purpose or accident?
On purpose.
Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second. KGR is gonna it's about to land on a plane, and I'm gonna ask you about deconstructing. Thank you so much for coming up.
that's all I wanted to say. It's like, it's interesting to
Hey,
see
B.
white people try to that everyone else is more violent than them when we have history that proves otherwise.
Mhm.
Like, show me when Black people kidnapped a bunch of other people, brought them to foreign shores, forced them into indentured, into slavery for over 250 years, and then started strange fruiting them. Like, that's,
Mhm.
I mean, just go by that.
How Sorry, y'all, I'm resetting the gift call. Tooks, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I can't complain. So we're talking about what made you start deconstructing racism, and
Um,
what was that for you?
it was probably about trying to think 6 or 7 years ago that my sister became a foster parent.
Mhm.
I live in a predominantly white community. The last I looked it up, I believe Black people make up, oh gosh, 0.2% of the population. I didn't even meet a Black person until I was 12 years old.
What? You never
I
did
did
you ever see a Black
no,
person?
no.
Did y'all have TV?
Oh, okay, on the TV, yes. But like to see someone in person,
Mhm.
no. The
Mm.
first time I ever talked to a Black person, I know I was staring. It was,
Hey,
yeah.
Ann.
Yeah, so I live in white country. It's just white people. I mean, there are Hispanic people. So those brown people are more familiar to me than Black people. But
Mhm.
and actually I live in corn country. It's a lot of farmland, so we actually do have I don't know, like 10% of the population I think is Hispanic, but it's still very, very white.
Mhm.
Um, and I and I'd always thought of myself as not racist. And I realized after my sister brought home, she welcomed two little Black boys into her home
Mhm.
as foster children. And they only were with us for a short time because they had a very hard time. They came from a majorly Black community an hour away from where we live. So they had a hard time adjusting to
Mhm.
a
Did
white
you
community because, I mean, put it this way, I was dropped, just aghast at the. We walked these boys to the park, and white people literally took their children out of the park. I mean, it was like 2020, and they literally like, nope, we're not playing here anymore because there's Black children. And I was like, how is this, how can people behave this way? Like, I thought this was over.
Mhm.
So I think I was just slapped across the face with the reality that racism is still very much alive. So I think that's when I started doing a little bit more reading, trying to learn.
Mhm. What is it so I think my question is like did you feel like your parents or anybody around you were was somewhat racist?
I think I was even before then, I was aware my mom was a little bit racist, but, not intentionally maliciously racist because
Mhm.
she always taught us like, "Oh, love everyone. We're all the same. I don't see color, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah." But I didn't realize the problems with, like, the whole idea of color blindness until I started doing more reading. And then, you know, the more you see all the, like, little microaggressions and stuff,
Mhm.
I guess. Um, and my mother-in-law for sure is absolutely racist. I
Mhm.
can't watch NFL football around her because she is,
You can't watch football? Like
I
normal?
mean, I was it last year, one of the I'm not a sports fan, but my sons are.
Uh-huh.
But we watched was it the halftime show? Is that what it's called?
Mhm.
Was it last year?
With Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it led to a fight because every time she's racist in front of my kids, I try to tell my kids like, hey, you can't say those things. Like this is not okay to say. And then she gets mad at me. So yeah, it's fun times. Fun times.
What are some of the things that she said? Obviously, don't say the N word, but like, what are some things that she would say when um the football game was playing, or when he was what's that called, performing?
Um, Usually things like how they dress and their dumb hair and I don't know, just a lot of things that she doesn't usually come out and say the N word.
Mhm.
So I don't even know if she knows how racist she is. She continues to claim she's not racist.
Mm. But
So
she seems to only say these certain things about Black people.
for the most part, I mean, yeah.
How do they
I mean,
dress?
oh, like in particular, if their pants aren't worn up on high waist on their hips or whatever, or just I don't know, even wearing their hats certain ways, she'll make comments about,
Mhm.
and I'm just like, it's not hurting you. Why do you have to be this way?
Mhm. And what is usually her response to that?
Usually she just doubles down and repeats what she has to say and storms away.
Do you feel like she just feels like she's better or superior?
In some ways, probably,
Mhm.
especially towards those, because I mean, she used to live in Florida before she moved back here to Ohio,
Mhm.
and I visited her with my husband one time in Florida, and I remember her saying like, "Well, there's good Black people, and there's the other ones," and she's
Mhm.
like, "There's good Black people. I like Black people. I'm not racist." Um,
Did she sit the "I got a Black friend"?
oh yeah, she's used that before. I had a Black friend in Florida. You know that, right? I had a Black friend. She's real proud of it.
Did she so how did your husband feel about it? Like, as far as, like, what your kids will learn? Hi, Jean.
He is.
Hey Hector. Hey Jessica. Hey Jessica Samoa, you gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous woman.
Hi, how you doing? Thank you.
You know that, right? I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you know that, right? You know how
My
damn.
I do now.
Don't pretend. Oh, oh.
Hey, Gina. Give me 1 second, Jean. I just want to say hi. Tooks, what does your husband say about it?
He doesn't necessarily like the influence she has on the kids, but he's not one to like pick a fight.
Mhm. Is he like a mama's boy?
No.
Okay.
So he wasn't actually raised by his mom very much. He was
Mhm.
mostly raised by his grandparents.
Mhm.
She kind of was a partier and didn't do a lot to I mean, she kind of raised him, but he spent like whole summers with his grandparents. If anytime she could get rid of him and send him to his grandparents, that's where she sent him.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha.
So
So
he doesn't have a lot of affection for his mom. Like he loves her, but he has problems with her.
mhm. Does she babysit the kids a lot?
Well, my kids are 11, 13, and 16.
Mhm.
and she just moved back in the last couple years to take care of his grandmother who has dementia and no longer knows anyone in the family.
Gotcha.
So
How do they feel about her?
my children,
Yeah.
well, she did have more influence on my 16-year-old. She used to do a little bit more watching him. He used to just like think she was just the bee's knees and super awesome because she doesn't do any kind of discipline, nothing. So he loved her, but I think he's starting to learn she's not the best influence or best person based on how she treats my husband's grandmother. So
Could I ask something, Jessica, if that's
Yeah.
okay?
Mhm.
So we're talking to Tukes. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. So I want to know, when your grandmother did, or is it mother-in-law, right?
Yes, mother-in-law.
When she was watching them, your kids, and after that, or even before that, would you give them kind of a sort of talk, being like, hey, she might say some things, do not listen to that. She is, she doesn't
She's not
have the
all
same
there.
ideas we do. Yeah, she's not, basically, but yeah, no, like, did you ever do that, or did they ever come ask you after they hung out with their mother-in-law? Well, yeah, I guess with your grandma. Did they ever ask you questions about things she said? Like, did you, before that, kind of let them know that what she was saying was wrong?
Occasionally it would come up, but not a lot, because again, honestly, unless we're watching football, for example, it doesn't come up a lot.
What is it? I wonder what it is about football that triggers her.
It's the only time really that we see Black people on TV, I guess.
Mm.
I guess we see them in movies and such, but I don't know.
But on TV, that's where they excel in it.
Yeah.
What about in real life, like out in the field and stuff? Like out in real life when you guys are out doing stuff. Is there no?
Where we live, occasionally we might see a Black person in a store, and if we do, it's like oh wow, there's a Black person. My kids do have one Black boy in their school, but other than that, it doesn't come up a lot. There was a problem in which I think there might have been some like internalized racism or just some avoidance of making a big deal about things, because I had to scold my child and threaten all sorts of punishments, because at one point my son a couple years ago admitted to me, she's like, he told me that the Black boy said, yeah, just call me monkey. And I said, whoa, I don't care if he said you can call him that. You're my child, and you are not going to call him that, because I don't know why he's allowing you to call you. Like I had to.
I'm pretty sure you didn't say that. But
probably not.
Yeah,
I don't believe.
He was probably trying to get himself out of trouble. Respectfully.
But also, maybe they heard their grandmother saying that. Who knows?
I'm not sure if that necessarily came from the grandma. I do know for a fact, because I had to actually talk to the teachers about this, and all the teachers did agree that every time the Black boy in the school is called that, like, he laughs about it. He's like, yep, that's my nickname. I'm Monkey. I'm the only monkey in this school.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because he's probably just trying to be safe.
Yeah, he's trying to be cool with the white kids. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? So not ask you, but Tukes. Just and Jessica, correct me if this is not the case, but Tukes, maybe instead of saying like Black boy, Black woman, Black, person of color, woman of color, instead of stuff like that, to like the Black kid or the Black person.
Okay,
is that something? No, I'm just. I know you don't. I know it's
interchangeable.
I think the reason, I'm not trying to be defensive.
I know you're not. The
reason I was using Black is because we do have persons of color. We have plenty of Hispanic, and it is the way that the Black boy is treated is definitely different than the Hispanic people in our. Is Hispanic the correct term too?
Um,
Or
it's interchangeable. It's not for me to say. I don't know if Saji's in here, if you can get Saji, but it's interchangeable. Some people are, are offended. I mean, of course, we don't want to hurt the blacks, but but the black boy or the black woman or something like that. That's fine. I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Jean. Jean, are you mixed?
Yes, I am.
Is one of your parents white?
Yes, yeah, my dad's white. My mom is Bajan, Barbados.
How was that growing up, even to being like mixed, sometimes not feeling a certain like you fit in everywhere or to this or to that,
Oh,
or what
ooh,
type of
ooh. Do you really?
deconstruction you yourself have had to dig as well?
Oh goodness. Okay, give me a minute. So, like, to be honest, even still to this day, I do not have any idea where I necessarily fit in because, and that's something I have to deal with myself. So, like, I am a little more, I guess you call it white passing than black, but I am half black. And so I don't necessarily want to, every time I go out, be like, hi, how are you? I'm half black, to everyone I fucking meet. But the thing is that because of the way I look and because of my phenotypes and the way my particular um, my facial structure and all that stuff, people look at me and they go, what are you?
Hmm.
And I'm not offended or anything, but it's like I know that I do have white privilege because I can be perceived as white,
Hmm.
but there are then white people who look at me and go, you're not one of us.
Yeah.
So I kind of try to walk in the world as almost my own kind of entity. But I am proud of my heritage. I am
Hmm.
proud of my Bajan and black heritage for sure. But I'm not one to, like, I know that because I have a lighter skin and I can pass as white, I don't assume to be able to kind of, you know, I will kind of wait until I am accepted in the black community kind of thing in each different kind of area because in Barbados is one thing because if you have the accent they're like everybody talk,
Hmm.
but in Canada, which is where I live, um everyone's kind of super accepting most of the places where I go. I haven't been to the US in a very long time, and to be honest I probably will not for an extremely long time until
I don't blame you.
the president situation is handled. But I sorry, there was a second question you had asked, and I think I got away from it. What was the second question you had asked?
Go ahead, Hector, real quick, because I heard
Uh,
you at your job.
mind if I crash out real quick, Jessica?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're gonna crash out on me?
Nigga, y'all black? You didn't tell me this.
I told you, you know that.
I don't
Hector,
remember
what
this.
the hell?
This never happened. There's no receipt.
You never.
happened.
It's
never
because
happened.
you never listen to me. You never
Whole
listen to me.
time.
That's why.
Whole time out here treating you like you was one of the people who had the whip. Man, I
didn't-
didn't even know. That's crazy.
What?
That's
Well, technically, her daddy had the whip.
Oh my God, no!
Black women. That's the
After
black
you
women
didn't
coming through is your daddy.
like she looks like a light skinned black chick to me. Sorry, you look like
I-
regular.
Me too. That's why I
I must have
asked.
never looked that closely, I guess. I want to
Hector!
apologize. I want to apologize to you, G, for out here treating you like you the whole op.
Yes,
you are
because she
more
got
than
like
welcome to my
panda
cookout.
skin complexion.
I can't speak
That's
for anybody
okay.
else's cookout, but you're invited to
Hey,
mine. That's all.
Parkers.
I'm gonna let y'all get back to it.
Okay.
Let me say, Hector. All good, all good. Listen. Oh no, where he gone? Oh damn.
he said he was going back to work. He said that's all he wanted to say.
Oh shit. Oh, that's
He's
very
listening
sweet, but
though. I'm
also like,
pretty sure though.
okay, I was just saying. No, I get it, but like, and also I have like I talk very Canadian sometimes, so like, how could you tell the difference? Like, damn, come on. But no, And sorry, you were saying again the
Oh,
second
do you?
question I
Yeah.
wanted to.
So, you noted, not noticed, but you said that you experience privilege, of course, because
Hmm.
you can still be white presenting at times. Do you feel like you had to deconstruct yourself as well?
Oh, absolutely, and I still do.
And
Like
what made you?
first,
What was like the thing that triggered it for you?
ooh, okay. This is going to be a little bit of a long explanation, just because. Okay, listen.
Hear
So
me out.
my yeah, not even hear me out, but like, okay, my mom, who is black, is very racist towards black people.
Mm-hmm. What? That's that anti-black
Yeah,
prejudice,
that
self-hate.
that can listen. That's exactly what it is. But her father instilled that in her, and like all of her siblings, which there was
What
9 of them.
was her father black or was he
Oh,
Asian?
yep. No, he's black.
Okay. And her mom, and hold on. And was her mom Asian? Because you said she was
She
Blasian, right?
was,
Hey,
yeah.
twin. Okay, and so her mom was Asian.
No. Her mom was like mixed.
Okay.
So like my grandma was mixed, my grandfather was black,
Okay.
and my grandfather did not like black people. It was more of a class thing, because in Barbados it was like he was like a black person that had a business and more higher up, and so he used his own privilege, and not privilege, but his own, I guess, class, to then look down on other black people, because like Barbados is about 90% black. So he used to just look at other black people and be like, and he would say a lot of awful things, and he raised his children like that. And so I've been not only trying to deconstruct my own shit, but my mother's as well.
Mm-hmm. Forgive me, is your mother still with us?
She is, yes.
Is she still racist?
Yes, she is. Well, but you know what? I
Well,
think she's
prejudice
about,
because she black, baby. You can't hold nobody down.
so she's still prejudiced, but she's about, let's say, I'm gonna say 30% less prejudiced, because at least when she talks to me and does different things, like there was this one time where she actually called me, and she went to the supermarket, and she had seen something. She had seen something, and she felt proud of herself, and she called me and said, Alicia, something came into my mind because of what you said, and it made me realize that I had been looking at people wrong, and I've been trying to look differently. And that just it made my soul kind of sing. But it's also like, but
Mhm.
mom, also you're still you have a long way to go. She's in her like early 70s.
Mhm.
She's extremely like, she's still going, in no way any kind of like cognitive decline or anything. But we fight all the time.
Mhm. What are most of your fights
Because I'm
over?
still like, look, well, this is actually more just family stuff, but like,
Okay.
she's very kind of controlling as well. But
Mhm.
uh, at the minute, her or anybody else says anything either racist, misogynistic, uh, xenophobic, immediately I speak up, and they're all like, "Oh God, there she goes again." I'm like, "Yep. If you don't like it, you can fucking leave."
Mm.
But they've gotten used to me now. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna shrink myself
Yeah.
anymore, or not fight for what I think is right.
So what was the thing that triggered it? And I don't know if I
Oh
got
yes.
that from you too, so I'm gonna come back to you here in a second too. What was the thing that triggered like, oh, maybe I'm being racist too, or I don't know it, or I didn't know I had these microaggressions or whatever. But what was the thing that like, okay, I gotta change something, or I gotta make sure I put this in my kids, or whatever the case may be.
Hmm. The thing that triggered it for me, honestly, was mostly just me realizing, walking around in the world, how little I actually knew of people of color, black people, who completely had a different experience.
Right, but what made you even think about that though?
Just I'm just I don't know. I'm just very, and I'm not going to say I'm an empath or whatever the shit, but no, I
Mhm.
just, that's how I walk around in the world. I have a
Mhm.
lot of friends. I lived in Barbados for most of my teenage years, and I saw the way people were treated. I saw the way my friends were treated and how I was treated. And then I just kind of looked at it and went, why is this happening?
Yeah. How was your
Why is
friends
it
being
different?
treated?
So my darker friends would be treated very different, even by like people at the gas station or
Mhm.
other things like that. And I just kind of saw that and I went, wait a minute. This is no, this is not right. So immediately I just kind of went, something needs to change. These things need to change. And then that just kind of flavored my entire
When you say like at the
not
gas station,
personality.
is it like following them around the store? Or is it saying you can't get nothing free? Or is it what like
No, what I'm talking about is in Barbados in a gas station where it's like black people behind the counter treat black people in Barbados differently than they do white people. Because first of all, in Barbados it's a little different because they assume that white people have more money,
Mhm.
but that in itself is extremely racist.
Mhm.
But it's also because because Barbados is 80%, 90% black people, and the white people are coming for vacation most of the time. They do have, because Barbados is a wonderful, gorgeous island, but it is a little bit, there's a lot of poverty there, you know?
Yeah, and then also too, someone put in the chat, I think it was Mo, that a lot of Caribbeans can be colorist.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. If you're light skinned, they look at you like, mm-mm. But I mean, and they're absolutely in their right to fucking feel that way. That's the thing. Because now with the internet, everybody is connected everywhere. Everyone sees how everyone's treated around the world. And I don't think that until we stop actually basing everything on fucking skin color, class, how much money you fucking have, nothing's really going to change. But from my side of it, from my part, I actually kind of just step back most of the time. If someone wants to ask me something, I will absolutely answer. But because I have that white privilege, I step back and I listen.
Mhm. So, I'm gonna ask you another question here in a second, but Tukes, what was the thing that you feel like I know you saw a black person before and you say, "Oh, okay, wow, I'm staring because it's new," but like what is something that was hey Saji, what was something that is that like hey, you have to look back at yourself like, damn, am I contributing to this? Maybe I should learn more about it. Like
I would say, like I told you about how I realized that racism was still very much a thing in today's. Um, I think when I finally realized that I was racist, when my mom was still alive, she was in and out of ICU and hospital stays all the time, and she couldn't stay in local hospitals because local hospitals don't have dialysis centers, so she always had to go stay at larger hospitals an hour away. And an hour away, there are black people, or people of color, and she preferred this hospital that was in the section of the city that was predominantly black.
mhm,
And um, I realized I was avoiding visiting her at the hospital at nighttime, or when I was driving in that section of town, I would lock my doors.
mhm.
And I'm not a person that locks my doors. I shouldn't admit this, but I don't lock my doors. We like where we live, there is no crime.
Yeah.
Like there just really isn't crime. And I mean, I lock my house doors, but most of the time I just jump out of my car. I might even leave my keys in my car, or if I take my keys with me, I don't necessarily even lock my vehicle. But I found myself locking my vehicle. And the truth is, I don't necessarily do that in the white section of that same city. So I realized then I was like, damn it, I'm freaking racist.
Mhm.
So yeah,
What are the things you guys feel like you done to deconstruct?
I've mostly been trying to read and figure out what are the things that I'm saying that are wrong or things I'm believing that are wrong. So for example, looking at like the crime statistics. I used to buy into the whole idea that Black people are more violent.
Mhm.
So some of the books I've read, I can't think of all the titles. I've read Racism Without Racists. I recently read White Fragility.
Oh, you know what? I had that one on my. Hold on, really quick. Oh shit! Oh my bad. You got a really bad echo. You don't have to drop from here, but just go out of the app like you're going to your text messages and come right back. It should get rid of the echo. And drop some Mickey Vicky coconuts for Ann. Thank you for the dono. She said, "Baby, she know them twos. It's my numbers. I've just been seeing 222 and 333 everywhere I go. I had to go look up what does it mean when I see them together. So drop some coconuts for Ann. Thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate you. That's our first dono of the night. Thank you so much, love. You okay? Tooks. Let me see if maybe it's gone. Thank you, Queen.
Is that better?
Yes, yes, yes. Much better. We love.
Wait, before you go,
James.
y'all need to start gifting me, or like, come on. No, I'm not kidding, but also like I'm kind of kidding, but also, gift Jessica, because this is a very amazing conversation. But I feel very awful up here having 0 fucking points, like I'm a beggar or
Thank you,
something.
D. Coco Ocho Nobit. I don't know. Tara, what? Shout out to my YouTube family over there. Thank y'all so much for engaging. I see you guys. I'm highlighting, commenting when I see them as well. Thank y'all so much. Share the live. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate it. She said 0 points. She said, I'm not mad at all. Don't make people think that I am when they come in here. James!
I got 60.
James, thank you for the dono that said we love a big furry cocoa nut. Drop some coconuts for Mickey Vicky James in the chat. I love you. I love you, twin. I appreciate you. Mommy said I heard nut. What you said? Excuse me. My apologies. Yeah. Okay, I forgot the question that I had asked. I'm hollering at James. Go ahead, Tooks. I think I may have interrupted you. I don't even remember. What was the thing that
I think last thing you'd asked me was how did I realize I needed to deconstruct?
Yeah. Oh, and the thing you said you was reading books. White Fragility. Somebody else told me about that book. I need to put that on the list. Let me tell you something. I've been a reading maniac. I read every night now for the last like few weeks before I go to bed. I'm so tired and delirious. Get you some rest, baby. Get you some rest. You deserve it. Let me tell you something. I know you working your ass off over there. I know you working your ass off. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, White Fragility. Which ones have you? What's the most recent one you read?
Well, I've been rereading Race because I remember reading it, but I was like, I don't remember half of probably what was in the book. So I actually just got it on Audible, so I've been kind of listening to it instead of rereading it. But rereading Racism Without Racists, but I think it's an older book. And I think a lot of the language they use in there seems problematic because you don't go around calling people the blacks, but they literally say that in the book. But it's still got a lot of relevant, good information and the statistics in it. I recently also read, I've kind of been on a Christian nationalism kick, trying to learn more about that and how damaging and dangerous that is. So someone said to read Bad Faith, which it's a book mostly about Christian nationalism, but it also goes into the history of how Christian nationalism started because of racism, because they wanted to be able to, be able to keep schools from getting integrated and stuff like that. So I kind of read some of that too.
Could I interject a minute? Just because I want to.
Hold on. Who is that?
No, that's me. It's
Okay, go
KG.
ahead, KG.
I was just going to point out, so white fragility is actually kind of really problematic because what it does is it excuses the problematic behavior we see within white supremacist culture. So it's a good read if you're reading it completely objectively and just looking at it for information, quote unquote. But overall, it's quite harmful because it makes it. I had no choice in my racism because fragility of whiteness is fragile. So it kind of tries to give an excuse for racist behavior. Am I wrong, James? Because that's how I
Yeah, I
read it.
didn't really feel that way. I felt really called out by it.
Well, that means that you're actually a lot more perceptive than
That's the starter
probably a
book.
lot of people. Yeah. Also, I wanted to say too. So another book that is a good one to read is called *Sapiens*, and it's kind of scientific and shit, but there's one bit that just basically explains where different skin colors come from and why, and
Who that at the top?
it's just fucking scientific, and that is fucking it. And the fact that that had been used for separating people, that's a whole different thing.
1 second. James, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, darling, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Baby. All right. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Robin DiAngelo is harmful. Her text is harmful.
Who is
She,
D'Angelo?
the author of that book,
White
the book,
fragility?
yes, I've read
Okay.
it. I've read it in the way that KGR surmises, and that I read it objectively. She deals with,
Can I ask you something? Did a
you
white
could,
person write white
Hold on. 1 second.
fragility?
1 second. Hold on. 1 second.
yeah, just, yeah.
Sorry,
So,
James. Did a white person write
Hold on.
white
1
fragility?
second. 1 second, Gene. I got you.
Sorry.
yeah, so the author of White Fragility is Robin DiAngelo, and yes, she is a white woman. Um, Notwithstanding that she's a white woman, she writes as if Black people are passive um, characters in her book, as if the work of Black authors should not be the litmus test for how we deal with racism in this country. But moreover, it is hugely problematic because she infantilizes Black people in that text and deals mostly with white emotion and how to deal with that white emotion without the perspective of Blackness or through the lens of Blackness. And so I think if you're going to read the book because you've bought it, whatever. I think that there are plenty other authors that you could read as an introductory book. Like there are several Black authors that I would suggest, and I think when we talk about Du Bois, like people older texts, but you start to read about people that talk about the psychological wage of whiteness from the Black perspective and how white racism is born of the idea, right? Like you you have people that are living in complete destitution that think that they are better than Black people, but that's because they've been conditioned to believe, right? That no matter what, it's okay if they're poor, it's okay if they're destitute, that their whiteness somehow gives them social currency that is worth more than take the ability to take care of their family. That's why you have folks like in places like West Virginia that will vote Republican, though their policies are fundamentally harmful to their communities. And so, just happy to give you a set of books. I want to give it some more thought rather than just spouting something off. But happy to give you some books that you can utilize in your Discord if you'd like. But I just think that Robin DiAngelo as a white author is hella harmful, and you should just Google her.
Yeah, she white woman's
Hold on.
the
1 quick. Marks and Queso, thank you for the dono. I appreciate you. Drop some coconuts for Marks and Queso. Thank you. Thank you, Caso, as well. Go ahead, KG.
Yeah, it's just like when we have to look at the perspective being utilized again, Black people. I'm going to just hold y'all like hold white tea people's hands when I say this. Well, not really. I'm just going to say it straight up. We do not need paternalistic support. We are absolutely the ones who are capable of running things because we already did it. So when white tea women specifically start writing about us as though we're children and then that we're just unaware of what happens, It takes away our humanity in a way that is far more harmful than even being called, like, I'm going to be straight up, as a Black person, I prefer my racist straight up, no chaser. I like them straight up because I know how to deal with that. That is a perspective I can maneuver in. It's when you have whitey people who are thinking that they're being not racist, but utilizing the guise of white tea supremacy to be their litmus test, and that they think that they can overspeak Black voices. And that's where I have an issue, because that's a racist that's far more harmful than your straight up no racist no chaser. Like, give me my straight up triple K member, white tea, brotherhood, whatever area. I can work with them. They make sense to me. I understand their perspective in a way, because I can also address them correctly. When you are thinking that you're being this paternalistic, um, oh, I'm being the, what do they call that? The magnanimous caregiver, the conscientious racist, where they think they're actually helping when actually what they're doing is harmful, far more harmful. So that's how we look at that. That's why we have an issue of white tea people speaking on racism over the Black people who already wrote about it. Like, if you really want to go back to it, read some W.E.B. Du Bois. Like, go back and read some stuff. And then start looking at it from that perspective of everything white tea people have in this country, and honestly worldwide, came off the blood, sweat, and tears of Black people. So if you start looking at it from that perspective, that you would have nothing without us, kind of changes the mentality of who is truly being paternalistic. I'm gonna land there.
Thank you so much.
KG, can I?
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Jean.
would I be able to?
Go ahead, Jean.
Thank you. KG, I just wanted to, first of all, flawlessly done what you just did. Thank you. And I wanted to ask you, I'm sure you have, but if not, have you read Parable of the Sower?
Yes, and the talents. I've read all of Octavia Butler. She's amazing. But
She is amazing. And sorry, you were going to say,
but I look at it from when you're looking at Parable of the Sower, and we're looking at the perspective of how she was writing. Octavia Butler, when she was interviewed about writing that book, she 100% acknowledged that the harm that comes to Black women specifically, and any time that there is a fall in society, Black women are the ones who absorb it the most. Therefore, even in their inclusivity, we have to understand that it's done strictly out of protection and understanding the balance that is there. So that's her interview about it.
and absolutely. And that's exactly, like, I'm in the middle of reading it again, but my God, wow. I'm sorry. I don't know you. I think this is the first time I've seen you on a live. Nice to meet you. But what you just said there, that explanation of that entire series was, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit left speechless, because that was perfect.
What was I about
And
to
I
say?
did just want to say, Tukes, read that book, because it actually allows you to kind of possibly see something through another set of eyes without having to, like, even think about, you know, who someone is or what color someone is. Like, I mean, it actually is very much. Sorry, I'm just in the middle of reading it again, and I'm a little bit verklempt here because of what some said. But I would say read Parable of the Sower, and then go on to the rest of the series. But it is a beautiful, beautiful book, and it's actually extremely, extremely close to kind of what's about to happen in your country at this particular
Hey,
moment.
Tia.
So
Welcome
I'm
in.
so sorry, Jessica.
No,
You
no,
go
no.
ahead.
No, you're good. Welcome in, everybody. Give me a follow if you're not done so. Tap the screen. We have the rest of our gift goal. We have 17 heart hands to get. Most of the stuff that I am putting on the gift goal is stuff that's in our gift gallery. Also too, hold on, are we still in B3? I'm not sure. I can't tell. or whatever. But thank you all for being here. Continue to tap. Let's go ahead and get up to 100K. Share the live with a friend. Oh, also too, you guys can post it to your story or repost it. Repost the live as well. Welcome in all the new royal family members. I see y'all falling in here. Thank y'all for being here. Sanji, welcome into the live. How are you?
Hi, Jess.
I
I need to know what level of spice you
just
are
saw your
feeling.
comment.
Because listen, I took a truth serum drink today, okay? And I feel
Mhm.
like being brutally honest, but
Mm.
I will respect your panel
Mhm.
if you don't.
I mean, sometimes the truth hurts. You could just be respectfully honest.
Okay, okay. All right.
On it.
Jeannie Alice. Okay. I think you might have good intentions, but even in the way you speak, as a listener, I feel like it was triggering. Like every time anybody else wanted to speak, you had to overspeak them. And even in the things that you said, it was like you couldn't really understand how a YT person doing the harm and then profiting off of writing of the harm that their people have done as to explain something that they will never experience would be harmful. um and I feel like that, I think that that is like the last bit of the band-aid for a lot of YT people, that they gotta rip off all the way. The need to not center themselves, the need to not grab the mic at every point and chance that they get, the need to be kind of white savior-ish, if that makes sense. And even I don't know, maybe it's just me today, okay? And anybody else tell me in the chat if I'm overdoing it. But
No, all good. Was that me or was it
yes, you.
Tooks?
No, you.
Okay.
Definitely you.
Okay.
But just a second. Even and again, call me crazy. You guys can tell me in the chat if I'm overdoing it. But even the way that you like complimented KGR was giving, oh my god, I can't believe you're that smart. And I just found it very triggering. But like I was trying to say, I think it's that last band-aid, that last bit of it. Like a lot of YT people get rid of the slurs is the first ones to go, right? They're like, well, I'm not a racist because I don't use a slur. Cool. Then the second part they do is they try to educate themselves and they try to work out their biases. But the last part is just the mic. Y'all gotta drop the mic and give it to someone else. So
Wait, I'm not white, right?
You mix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
So I do like the thing is that what I was talking to KG was that just the way that she explained it was amazing, and I wish I could have explained it as well as she could have. It wasn't like, oh, I think you're so smart. That wasn't it. And if it came out that way, I'm so sorry, but you know that I'm not white, right?
But see, this, and I don't. Okay, as a light skin to another light skin, I'm gonna say this to you, sweetie. You don't have white privilege because in the United States, especially if you were to come to Virginia, everyone would clock you as being black, and they wouldn't even think that you were biracial. They would think you were monoracially black because you are not white privilege. You are not white presenting. You are tan presenting. But because of your Bayesian heritage and being that you're from a highly colorist area, yes, you have more proximity to whiteness. Now, when we actually put that into perspective of US versus Caribbean situations, you are kind of embodying the issue that us light skins have with being light skinned, is that we be light skinned. Okay. As a light skin telling this to another light skin, I'm gonna need you to stop light skinning. Okay, it's love. This is not hate, nothing like that. I'm just telling you, you are a biracial who, to everybody else around here, like when I went on your page, I was like, dude, I got cousins lighter than her, and they are fully black, like no shade, nothing. They're just black. So when we look at a monoracially black person and someone who is biracial, we know y'all are black. Okay, the only people who don't know y'all are fully black are white tea people. Black people clock black people every day. So I think what happened is because you're from a highly colorist area where they do participate in a lot of anti-blackness based on class and access to money, you're white, you're light skinned right now. So we need to pull back that light skinnedness and like open our eyes. No hate.
Okay.
Just needs to.
There was no hate at all, received. How do I do that?
Okay.
How do I, like, to be honest, like, because I can't, like, right now I'm living in Canada. I'm not in Barbados right now. It's a little bit of a different, you know. Oh, sorry. And I'm not asking you to tell me how to live. I'm just saying I understand exactly what you're saying, and I completely respect what you're saying, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to look into it. But if you do have any advice how to, start doing that, I will take it. But if you don't, absolutely, you know what I mean?
Hold on. I have another light skin who wants to speak, and then I'm gonna come to you, Daniel. Go ahead, James.
Yeah, I mean, maybe in my old age, I'm getting nicer than I usually am.
I'm so proud of you.
I know, like, Gene, even when you are being told that you interrupted people, you interrupted people. Say nothing that does not improve upon the beauty of your silence. That's the advice I'd give you. Like, sometimes it's better to hear and receive than hear and respond, particularly in moments where you are showing up and people are saying that showing up is harmful. And if it were any other day, I would have probably wore you out up here. I'm not gonna lie to you, and everybody in here knows that. If you've been here, you know that I would have done that. I think you are showing up in the fullness of the privilege you are raised with in this moment. You cut me off. As Saji was talking to you, you cut her off, like telling you that you were cutting people off. And so sometimes we just have to stand in the nasty reflection of that truth. That sometimes we don't need to respond, we just need to hear. But it's a panel, so you're welcome to do whatever you want. And I think that people are going to do whatever they want in response to that, whatever it is. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents, my advice. But c'est la vie.
Thank you so much, James. I appreciate you.
Lovely.
1 second. Let me bring in Daniel. Daniel, how are you? Welcome to the panel.
How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I can't complain.
That's good to hear.
What was the thing that made you start deconstructing racism?
Well, I just want to clarify what you mean by that. Like, do you mean by, like, internally myself, or like in my society or in my community? What do you mean by these?
Well, starting with yourself. Examining dismantling historic, systemic, and cultural roots of racism to achieve lasting equitable change. Like yourself,
So
what was something that happened and like, okay, shit, maybe I am racist. Am I contributing to this? Maybe my family's
I
racist. What am
don't
I
really,
gonna how can I get myself out of the microaggressions, and then stereotyping people and
yeah,
stop trying to uphold the white supremacy and racism?
right.
Hey, Sarisa.
So, I grew up in a pretty diverse community. I'm from New York. I'm from the outskirts of New York, but it wasn't rare to have Black friends or Black classmates. So the exposure to Black people and their community, and maybe their slightly different culture than mine, keyword slightly, I never really remember, it was just kind of normal to have Black friends, and understanding that they're Black, they look different than me, and they could have slightly differences in their culture or whatever they do in their day-to-day lives or at home. But, it's just about hearing their experiences, and same thing with me to them. Like, they obviously many of them don't live in a Latino household. So getting exposure to what I knew as a Latino American, they learn from me. And that's kind of when you allow people to interact, you begin to understand, and then you come up with your opinion on it. So then, yeah, some people will, through those experiences, choose to indulge in racism, and other people, like myself, will choose not to indulge in racism. So yeah, experiences definitely do matter, but that's kind of what the start is in your quote unquote deconstructing racism. The exposure to your household ideas, and then the exposure to your outside world, which is typically through school when you're growing up.
So when did you start deconstructing? So you've never experienced, or you never experienced racism. You never heard your parents be racist, your friends, or neither were
Yeah,
you have any microaggression.
100%. I mean,
So your parents,
there's
I mean,
definitely,
your parents.
yeah. I mean, they're pretty old school. So sometimes it came, there definitely came a point where I was showing them, I mean, I would tell them, hey, you shouldn't say that, just because of that fact. Like they didn't really grow up with Black people around them. So
So like, what were the things that they would say that make you feel like my parents are racist? But don't say the N word. But
no, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't outright say that. But
so
they
they're
would.
all covert racists, just so because a lot of people think just because you
No,
don't say
but
the
it's
N
like,
word, you're not racist. What were the things
no,
that
you don't need to say that. You could say they were sort of microaggression, and I'm being honest here. There are many old school parents like that.
like what
They
like
come
what
from
type
a
of
different
thing?
time.
Can you be
Just
specific?
like I wouldn't. I guess a prime example would be maybe my mother wouldn't really approve of me dating a Black girl. Um,
What she say? Don't you can't date a Black girl, or you can't date
not
that girl.
that you can't, but it's like, she's gonna, and she's just gonna say that about many other people, not just Black people. Kind of saying, hey, they have a different culture than you. You know what I mean? So, and again, it's not just towards Black people, but that is just kind of one example.
Oh, so
It's
she was
just
racist against everybody.
everybody. I don't know. They're kind of a little old school, but they've grown as well. So what you have to understand is while you're growing up, your parents are also growing up, right? And they're also immigrants to America. It's a very different lifestyle there. Old school immigrants, I'm just kind of being honest here. But if they were around Black people, they wouldn't be like, oh my God, I gotta get out. No, they wouldn't talk to them
I mean,
normally.
there's a lot of people, a lot of white people who hang around Black people and still the same way. I don't think that makes a
Right. And it's just about whether you will indulge in racism and to what degree you will indulge in that. But at the end of the day, what we have to understand is that, and this kind of goes to your point of the quote unquote deconstructing racism. Racism is something, I mean, I hope you don't wish for it to ever go away. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think it would ever go away. I think that's
hold on.
sure.
My earbuds said what? My earbuds fell off and said, "What do you say?"
No, you're good.
Hold on. You
I
said
hope
that. I just want to clarify. You said you hope that I don't hope that racism will ever go away because it's not going to go away.
that's correct. Like I don't want you to be thinking that something that is so good, it's a really like utopian world idea. That's just not possible. And we have to understand that. And as I just said, you're going to experience different races in this country. Whether you choose to indulge in racism, completely up to you, and it's in your right to indulge in it. It's your First Amendment right. So I don't advocate for it, but it's something that's part of our life, unfortunately.
Okay.
Now, definitely in our law, 100%, there should not be racism in our law.
Okay, we have a couple questions. Gina, I had heard you first, and then KGR. If you have a question, you can go ahead. Go ahead, Gina.
Sorry, there was something I wanted to touch on before, but then what he just said, I'm gonna have to see about that. But Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
do you not see a problem with calling someone one of them? Like when I think you were talking about how you were possibly dating a Black woman, yeah?
Yeah, I have dated a Black
And
woman.
you said one of them.
Yeah, we're talking about a Black woman, yes.
And the way
So then we
you do
refer to
not,
Black woman.
I know, but do you not see a problem with that?
Well, I would refer to them if I was talking about anyone. If we're talking about NFL players, I would say them.
No. Would you say that about a white person? Say,
Yes. If we're
You
talking
would
about white
not.
people and
Bullshit.
then I refer to them in the next
Okay,
sentence,
okay.
I will say
No,
them.
no. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Anyways, that's my own ideas. But anyways,
It's just making it plural.
and then what you just said.
Yeah.
Can you please repeat that?
Yeah, racism will never go away in our human nature.
No. There was something before that. There was something before that.
I hope in these discussions, the goal is to get rid of racism. That's impossible. That's like saying I want to get rid of angry people. That's literally what you're saying.
No. There was something a little bit more.
Yeah, I said I hope you're not wishing. I said I hope you're not wishing for racism to go away, because while that would be an amazing thing, that's just not a realistic thing. That will never happen.
Hold on.
But what?
Is that what you're referring to?
Just if I can say something real quick. Listen, Daniel, because you're pissing me the fuck off. I thought you were white, and I guess you're Latino, so I have to drag you, right?
I'm a white Latino.
I don't.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Listen, I don't know what the fuck color you think you are, bitch.
Why are you getting mad?
This is the back of your neck, okay?
Why are you getting mad?
This is you. Hold on. This is you. You are no white. You're not white, first of all. And for you to sit here and say that, oh, well, I know that you idealistically want racism to go away, but it's never gonna happen. Bitch, you are never going to have a good shaped head. And yet you're out there giving yourself a fade. Your head is literally the shape of a fucking old school, since you love that word, old school light bulb. Your head looks like the same shape of the fucking Thomas Jefferson's first light bulb ever invented, and yet you're out there getting a fucking fade because you think you're gonna look some type of way. You are actually embarrassing.
Why? I came up to have a friendly conversation. I don't know why you're getting angry. I'm really trying to have a conversation here.
Do you think
I'm not gonna participate in like insults and stuff? I'm not gonna do that.
Do you
tonight.
speak Spanish?
Of course I do.
What makes you think you're a white Latino?
You know, in Latin America, there are white people, black people, Asian people, different
your
people,
neck, bitch?
races.
You're not white. Look at your neck. What are you talking about? This is you.
Okay, ma'am.
Right?
What is my race?
Not you. It's not you.
What is my race? If you know what my race is, what is my race? If I go fill out a job application right now, what is my race?
Bitch, I'm looking at the back of your neck. You're not white, is what I'm telling you. Who told you were white?
So what is my race?
Oh so you don't put in Latino or
Of
Hispanic?
course I do. That's the next question. If you look at the race up, look up right now.
All right,
what
wait.
races in America?
Daniel, wait a second. And yes, I'm interrupting again. I'm very sorry, just because Daniel's a fucking troll. He's being disgusting. He's asking these certain questions, and he knows it's going to trigger a bunch of people.
I haven't asked
He's
any
a troll.
questions.
Daniel, I'm not done. Do not give him the satisfaction of allowing this. If you ask him a question, he needs to answer it, period.
No, how about this? Daniel, I'm gonna point this out to you so that you understand. You just said it's the First Amendment right to be racist.
Yes. As long as it's not violent, or of course, if you are dealing in if you're dealing in employer activities, yes, you could be charged.
Inherently violent, no matter what.
That's incorrect.
Okay.
I'm not going to deal with that. Those words could be words.
How old are you, Daniel?
27.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me bring in Monique and as well. Monique, because I know she's
I'm here to have a normal
time.
conversation, guys. I'm really not trying to be insulting or anything. I don't know why you guys are getting really heated.
I think it's the fact that you just told people that they can't hope for racism because it'll never
you
go
could
away.
hope for whatever you want, right? Like I could hope for water to dry up on this planet,
or to be white.
Daniel,
I don't know if it will happen.
But
Daniel, stop.
What?
Listen.
Stop what?
Daniel?
Hold on 1
A
second.
whole lot of
Bullshit. I'll finish that for you. Monique, welcome to the panel. How are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Always good to hear your voice.
Okay, so I'm not here to talk to Daniel. Saji got him. This one was more so specifically Jean. So she asked the comment of how can she deconstruct?
Mm-hmm.
One, I feel she does still have a lot of deconstructing to do, because when she was what was it when she was when she brought up the zero coins thing? I'm not gonna lie to you, Jess. Like I cringed a little bit because it's like you're just up here to have a conversation. The amount of coins you're getting shouldn't matter. Like I've come up here plenty of times and not get any coins. I don't give a damn if I get any coins. Tweaks is up here still sitting at her 32 and she didn't give a damn. She was just up here trying to have a genuine conversation. So for me, when you said that, you came off really disingenuous to me because it was like we're up here to have like a legitimate conversation. The only person that should be caring about coins up here is Jess, in my opinion, and her A1 Day 1 mods. But for you to come up and say something about the coins, like it's like you weren't there for the true conversation. So that part was kind of frustrating for me. So honestly, based on a lot of things you said, you definitely have a lot of deconstructing to do. And then on top of that, when you recommended, I forget the book by that white woman
White fragility?
that you co-signed, basically saying it was good, and then when Jess
Oh,
and
that was not
KGR was
me.
like,
That was not me. I recommended a different book. That was not me who recommended that book.
So I'm not saying you recommended it. When Tweet said that's the book she was reading, you go back, correct me
I
if
did
I'm
not
wrong, but
co-sign it. I did not co-sign it. I said read
you
a
proving
different
my
book.
point right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. You really proving my point right now. Really proving it hard. Just like let me finish. And you see, you're getting a little bit it's I'm not coming for you. I'm just telling you things that I witnessed from watching The View. I felt like secondhand embarrassment. And for me, when I feel secondhand embarrassment, for me, nine times out of 10, that's when it's like there's something right here. It doesn't feel right. It don't feel right in my chest. So there's clearly something going on here. But each time you interrupt or when someone tries to, you corrected Tweaks and you see how Tweaks didn't interrupt you. But any single time anyone says something to you, you feel the need to interrupt or interject. Tweaks took exactly what you said and she was like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to offend by it. I was just saying it that way because that's the way I thought it was. When other people in the comments and other people on the panel were like, yeah, you should probably say this. Tweaks was like, my bad, I'm sorry. And moving forward, she corrected it. But each time someone says something to you, it's really giving white women, I gotta explain myself. I gotta justify. But I'm not saying that you're the one that recommended the book. I'm saying that Tweaks mentioned that's the book she was reading and just said, oh, I was thinking about getting that book. And then that's when KGR, you said, it's actually not a bad book or something like that. And I remember KGR and James saying, it's actually, if you're going to read a book, don't choose that book because it's like white women tears or something like that. I'm paraphrasing here, of course. But then when they recommended another book, you were like, yeah, I suggest you read that book, Tweaks. I said, how about you read that book too, G? I'm just saying, like, you're recommending all these things, but like, I feel like you were just up here most of the time, just focus on these coins, just interjecting and interrupting everyone. And it just really, really gave disingenuous for me. Really gave it. And I'm not coming for you at all. I'm just giving you the perspective of what I saw from listening and from the comments. And every time you would say something, my booty hole would tighten up a little bit.
Oh my God, I love you, Monique, too. That Jean, would you like to respond, darling? I'll let her have the floor.
I would. I think maybe I was being mistaken for someone else because, first of all, the book that was being recommended, The White Fragility, I had just gotten up here when that was being recommended. I didn't say a word about that book. I actually said a book I recommend is Parable of the Sower, and then we went on to that. But also, not just that, but yes, I did interrupt a lot. I did do that, and I apologized for doing that, and I that's a whole something else I have to deal with. But I think I might have been mistaken for someone else because like what you were saying that I was doing or saying, I don't remember doing or saying.
So
does that make sense?
So again,
May I say
it makes sense what you're saying. Who is that? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tweaks.
This is Tukes.
Go ahead,
Tweaks. Sorry, go ahead.
I would just like to pipe up and say that I did understand Jeannie Alice. It was my understanding that she was saying, yes, do read that book after KGR said that it was a problematic book. On
No,
that
no, no.
topic, on
Wait,
She
that
just
wait.
hold on,
The
hold on,
thing is
hold on
that
one second,
no.
Jean. 1 second, Jean, because let Tooks have the floor. Because
on that
she's just talking
topic,
about her understanding.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
On
Tooks.
that topic, if that book is problematic, can you recommend? I think you said I didn't get it written down. Du Bois, is that what you said?
Oh, that's KGR for you, but I believe that is what she said was take
Yeah,
it back if you're going to read something.
W.E.B. Du Bois, then jump into some County Cullen, dive into Zora Neale Hurston, read
let me
some
write
Bell
this down.
Hooks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tooks, you know what I could do? I can get you the link to our Discord. We have a Royal Reads, and there's a lot.
I'm so sorry. What's Discord?
Oh, you don't have this? Oh my God. Discord is an app. It's kind of like where our community, the royal family, mostly all the subscribers, but we're moving towards there anyway since TikTok will be shut down soon. So, it's an app, but it's like a family, um, and we have like different tabs or whatever. Anyways, we have a royal reads because we're the royal family. But there's a lot of all the book recommendations are in there, so it's not hard for you to write every single thing down. Or you can just send me since you may not know what Discord is, it may be a little hard for you to navigate, but I'm up to help you if you need so. Or you can just reach out to me or KGR personally. That way she can message them to you so you don't feel like you're moving around and you miss something. But she can definitely send you those links to books too.
Okay, thank you so much.
Of course.
And also the book I was recommending was Sapiens, not White Fragility. Those are two different books. And
So
is
again,
Sapiens.
I'm not saying you recommended it, but you co-signed it initially when
I did not. I didn't say a
Okay.
word during that.
Then you
I'm
didn't.
sorry.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
I said instead of reading that, read this other book because first of all, I have heard of that book. I didn't read it myself because I kind of realized it may have some issues. I never read it, so I would not have recommended it. So I'm just saying maybe it could have been misconstrued as someone else's voice because I have a voice that sounds like maybe other people's voices, but I never recommended that book.
Okay, again,
That's all I'm
Tweaks-
saying.
Got you. Tweaks recommended it. My bad if I misconstrued your
The
quotes or
replay is on
whatever,
YouTube.
I'll check it out. But yeah, just it was just your mannerisms and how you were going about everything. Like even after the W.E.D. Boys book that KGR recommended, it's like, yeah, go ahead, you should read that. You should read that. And it's like it's kind of like when someone co-signs something that they have no idea about because you didn't even, like you just said, you never read it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's a me thing. Maybe I'm like Saji and I'm just on one today. It was just like you have something to say after every single thing. It's kind of like that person in class that like just always has something. They know everything, but they know nothing at the same time. Again, I'm not trying to be rude. And it could be the coin comment that just irritated me from the beginning too. But I definitely get from you, you have a lot more deconstructing that you have to do. And I'm not trying to throw shade or come for you in any sort of way or anything like that.
No, listen, Monique, I absolutely respect and appreciate what you're saying. And can I just, in a way, kind of, okay, I go in other lives. I've got other friends' lives that I'm on sometimes, and we do the whole coin thing and blah, blah, blah. So I think that maybe that's why I was like, hey, I've got no coin. It's not, I don't need coins. I don't want coins. It was kind of like this is kind of a thing that you do on lives. I thought that's what it
I
was.
get it.
Anyways,
Just after this, you can drop me. But I'm just saying that's just like just not typical for me. Like when you're having an honest conversation, I don't give a damn who's throwing $1 at me. I don't give a damn about the coins. I'm not saying nothing or anything like that. Shoot, Saji's been up here so many times. Saji is sitting down there at like 0, and she never once was anything about give me coins before someone thinks I'm a MAGA. It's like, why y'all not gifting Jess? You know, so it just came off disingenuous for me. And I get what you're saying, but I'm not gonna keep repeating myself. Jess, you can drop me.
No, that's okay.
I love you,
and
Monique. Drop some coconuts in the chat for Mo, y'all. We love when Mo come up on the panel. You know, she ain't gonna be here for a long time, but every time she comes up, she it's impactful.
She is. Can I just
hold on really
no,
quick.
Okay.
Oh no. Who is that? Jean, you can go ahead and respond, and then James has something to say.
I'm just gonna say, absolutely, I get it. Look, I'm Canadian, so I don't even actually get anything from coins. It was more about like, I think there was I was just like, okay, listen, you guys know AC and other people like that. I go on live sometimes, and that's what they do. You got to talk about coins and fucking, tapping to get likes and shit like that. That was pretty much all that was. It was kind of a joke. It wasn't even about. I don't care if I had any uh, coins, and I do appreciate everyone who's given me coins tonight. Thank you very much. But it was more just like I'm trying to keep the engagement going. It's not about give me coins, give Jessica coins. Give Jessica everything because she is the one that is running this live, and that's basically all this is about. But that was it, and I'm sorry if it came off as anything else. It was not even that.
Is it me?
It's all you, James.
Did you do what I told you to do? You know, first of all, I hope Monique's still here, baby. Secondhand embarrassment is a filthy read. I'm talking about a filthy read. But yeah, Jess, you can go on here and push that button. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. But I have something else. Yeah, get on out of here, scram, skedaddle.
I love you so much, James. I love you so
Jay.
much.
Get out of here now. I want you out of here.
Y'all drop some massive coconuts for James in the chat, y'all, right now. Okay, drop some massive coconuts for Gene. You might have to come back on the next time. I think this time, the chat, we still believe in democracy, even though we are being ran for our fascists. And the chat has voted for the night. Okay.
Yeah, I can't. You're doing too much. I'm sick of it. Fed up. All right. Back to this other point. Daniel, what is LULAC?
What?
What's LULAC?
LULAC?
Yeah, LULAC.
LULAC. That's a restaurant by me, actually.
No, it's not a restaurant.
What is that?
Well, you should look it up. Saji, are you around?
Is it the Latino Latin American empowerment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a Latin
even know
American
about it.
organization. You should know because you are claiming to be white, and that would be the reason why you're designated as white. Because in the 1930s through the 1950s, they fought so you could be categorized as white.
You know
They
how
want their own
I
race.
discovered it?
Hold on a second. Your words don't need to touch mine. So LULAC fought in the 1930s through the 1950s so that they could claim to be white because they didn't want to be discriminated against like Black people were being discriminated against. Given what's going on in the country, I don't know that helped very much, did it? So
I discovered it. I discovered it when I applied to college. To be honest with you.
Discovered what?
The restaurant.
The different categories of race.
The what, Saji?
The different categories of race.
Okay.
So when I applied to university, I had to click one of these. But the next question, I was a little confused. But the next question was, are you Hispanic or Latino?
Yeah. So back to the point that I made. You could say you're white, right?
I'm just saying what I get categorized as, man.
No, you said I'm white.
Yeah, that's my racial category.
You said that in the comment section in response to someone. And listen, whatever floats your boat, buddy.
I mean, that's just what I'll get categorized as, man. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, okay. Once again, the point.
I didn't really make these guidelines.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I feel like once again you missed the point, right? LULAC.
Dude, I don't care what they did, man. I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, I know. You don't need to talk while I'm talking, though.
No, get to your point, though.
Oh, you're on the wrong panel for that shit.
I just want to point out, Daniel The back of your neck is darker than all three of these people in this picture. And every one of these people in this picture are fully black. 100% monoracially
I don't even
Negro.
know what I look like. So
Now,
let's say
I want to know why you think you're white.
You don't even know what I look like.
Latino ass, as brown as you are, in comparison to those, to two of them especially.
You know, your
And
ignorance
you
is really
try to-
showing, ma'am.
No,
It's
no,
really
sir.
showing.
You're not showing anything. You sound
There's
so
no white
absolutely
Latinos. What
silly.
kind of logic is this?
But you're not white, and you're not even a white Latino, my dude.
White
You are
Latinos.
what I would consider probably a
guess I'm black then.
mestizo.
Yeah, I guess I'm
You're a
black.
mestizo. No, you're a mestizo. You have indigenous heritage as well as African ancestry.
I have no
and a little
indigenous
bit of
$50 to
Spaniard
send them to the rapture, Taylor. I am hollering. That's what I'm gonna say from now on. You have been raptured.
A to the amen. And Daniel, I also want to point this out. You don't pray for people without their consent. That's
Yeah, I
fine.
don't really care what you think.
You don't
Okay.
get to claim that you have all this American heritage and you're doing all this. When at the end of the day,
Definitely
your
agree with
family
you.
was
And I pray for you too.
anti-black. Because
Yeah, I
if
pray
you
for
were
you
born
too, man.
blonde, white teeth, no, you
Shamika,
don't.
I'm
Yeah, I
trying.
do.
I'm trying to figure out, y'all. You know who? You know. Let me tell y'all something. You know who ain't giving me problems?
Something is not right with your
The
life.
white woman on the panel.
And then you turn to victimhood, which is making it worse.
The only white woman on the panel.
So to get you out of victimhood, I do pray for you, ma'am.
What's it so good? First off,
Hold on. Don't tear a hole into him just yet. I want to
I
bring
will not
in.
engage with her. She has too much hatred,
Hold
by
on.
the way. So you can remove her
Ay,
if you want, but I will
way.
not.
Shit.
No le para el puto hocico este.
Oh, James, I want. Hold on. Can you be respectful? Just. I'm gonna give you the floor. I promise. I want James to be able to finish. You can respond, and then I want to bring Angie in. Thank you so much for your patience, Angie. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to come on a panel and be like, oh, like I'm categorized when I do applications. That's why it's another thing to try to like caucus. I don't know the word to use, but I do know that Daniel has out white woman the white woman on the panel. I want to say that for everybody here. So Tukes, take a break. Somebody
Let me
has
tell
to-
you something. Whatever she doing to deconstruct is working. Okay, let me tell you that much.
Every woman on this panel, my man.
Baby. What you say, young lady? Because I'll troll you if you want to be trolled. Help yourself tonight.
Since we're talking honest, my man.
What are we talking honestly about?
You
Daniel
outwoman
Nisha?
every woman on this planet, except that
Oh,
KGR
Daniel
lady.
Nisha. Daniel Nisha.
Yeah.
Don't
Daniel
You're too
Nisha is
emotional.
wild.
For a man, you're too
don't be a
emotional.
homophobe.
Daniel
Don't
Nisha
get
is
upset
wild.
because somebody is
It's
grabbing
not about
you from
that,
those
man. It's just you're
flowing
too
locks and
emotional. Same as
shoving your head
KGR.
down. Daniel Nisha, listen,
It's
I don't
typical.
know what glory hole you went to before you came here tonight, but I'd invite you to silence. You sound stupid. You're not trolling anybody up here. You were blocked. When you came up here, you were already blocked by me
Yeah,
for a reason,
soft.
which I am sure is violence,
You're
stupidity,
soft.
ignorance. And yo, absolutely my thoughts. And
Yeah,
guess
you're
what?
soft.
Up here, my thoughts, I assure you, more respected than your stupidity.
Yeah, because you're soft.
Oh my God.
How
Anyway,
I am.
Listen,
Would you like to get me hard?
hey.
There's a place for you in our society. That's good for you.
Daniel
Listen.
Nisha's going to his glory hole after this. I just want y'all to know. Sign up
The,
for $1.
the craziest part about all of this is I assure you this guy is a dick everywhere he goes, because there's no way that he was a nice person to the barber that he went to and they did this to him. You should
I
be
would never
suing
get
the
that haircut.
barber
I
shop.
would never get
You
that
should
haircut.
be suing the barber shop.
I would never get.
Oh my goodness. 1 second. Hold on, Daniel.
Yeah.
Do you have something to say before I bring in Angie?
I'm sorry.
Do you have anything that you want to state before I bring in Angie? I'm giving you an opportunity to have the floor, even though you're not.
Yeah, I mean, I said. I mean, I said pretty much everything. We were having
Okay,
a pretty
no
good.
problem.
I feel like we would have.
Angie, welcome to the chat. How are you? He said I said pretty much everything.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, love.
Okay. Hi. Well, first of all, thank you for hosting this room.
This is like my second time ever joining a panel, so I'm kind of new to this. Are there any house rules that I need to be aware of?
I was just trying to not to talk over each other, give everybody the floor. TikTok friendly language instead of KILL unalive, instead of GUN like weapons or firearm, things like that. Instead of grape, instead of he took it. The R word or whatever. And no
Got it.
slurs. I appreciate you.
Okay, well, thank you again. I appreciate it. I was just scrolling and y'all just caught my, the energy that was in here. I was feeling it, and I just wanted to say, so I'm actually Puerto Rican and Black, raised by a Black mom. Don't know much about Hispanic culture, any of that, but I grew up with my dad's last name, which I don't have anymore. I legally changed it because of discrimination, trying to get a job and everything. But what really
I
came
love you.
to thank you. What happened to me just like last year, I was actually filling a prescription at Walmart, and the pharmacy tech was actually Hispanic. And I had braids in my hair at the time. And she saw my last name and she was like, "Where you get your last name from?" Excuse me, ma'am. There's people behind me right now. I'm here to pick up a prescription. I ain't got time to tell you my history, and it's none of your damn business.
I do a large coke.
So that moment was that was an eye opener for me. That was the first time I ever experienced that in that type of setting. Like, I'm just picking up a prescription, I want to go, and I'm being questioned. So that, to me, when Daniel was speaking, it just reminded me of like that mentality that the Hispanics unfortunately have here in this country, whether they're immigrants or if they were born here. It's very unfortunate that they would want to try to be more white adjacent than actually aligning with Black people, because we have similar experiences. We have, and again, I identify, let me just state, I always try to give a disclaimer because I know multiracial people, it can be confusing. I'll say this again. I was raised by a strong Black woman, Black grandma. Both both grandmas are Black. My grandfather was from Puerto Rico. I don't know anything about their culture, and I know everything about Black lived experience, including the privilege that I have because of my skin color, which I've always used to advocate and will continue to use to advocate for our community. But I say all that to say that, like, yeah, that's definitely a I don't know. I really don't know the mentality that goes behind that. This day and age, there's enough information out here. They've had enough lived experience to see how white people feel about them. Why would you want to continue to consider yourself white? And Daniel, if you're still here, I would like to know: have you ever told
Oh,
a
he
white person?
blocked.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he blocked. He in the chat said some dumb shit. I don't play by comments.
No, I was gonna ask him: has he ever told a white person that he was white? I just want to know what that experience was like.
Yeah. Damn, I wish I could unblock him and bring him back right now, because that's a great damn question.
Because whenever they do it, like, I swear I've seen it where a quote unquote white Latino, or someone who thinks that they're white Latino, has said something to like straight up standard 8x11 milk people and said, "Oh, well, I'm white too." And they just start laughing. They're like, "No, you're not." Like, "Oh my gosh, why is your last name like that? You're not white. Are you from Spain?" And then they will go into that whole diatribe. They literally drag them from hither and yon, pointing out you're not one of us. And I love that for them. Like, I do, because you are delusional enough to believe that you are white tea. And then he's talking about praise dumpy. And I was like, okay, so when ICE starts rounding you up, don't talk shit. That's their First Amendment right? They get to be racist now, according to you, and it's a good thing, right? So he shouldn't complain about shit, in my opinion. I don't want to hear people who believe in all that stuff to ever complain about being racially profiled and harmed because they said that that's good. Remember, First Amendment. I'm gonna start using that.
I will say that as a white person who has persons of color, especially a lot of Hispanics in my area, they assimilate or something, and they are very much like that. Like, I have a lot of Hispanic people that I know that are very racist against Hispanics.
Which is
I'm in Trump country. Everyone supports Trump here. Everyone, even all the Hispanics.
Which is wild, because then if they went, like she said, if they went and said, um, Oh, if they go to tell a white person, "Hey, I'm white too," they're gonna laugh at you. They're gonna laugh at you.
Did y'all remember that those creators who came and said that they were too right, they're red, too right wing, and they moved to Idaho? A whole family of Latinx people moved to Idaho
Mm-mm.
because they wanted to be around people who support their values, and got their house spray painted, called every name but a child of God, told they wasn't welcome there, and they're like, we have to move back to California
I love
because they're
that for
really
them.
racist.
I
And I
did
was like,
hear
you
about
don't
that.
forget.
I love that for them. Your cousin just moved there. He think that's gonna work with him too.
It's actually a she, and my cousin, she's so our moms are sisters. So she has the same black grandma that I have, and her dad was white. She's actually Canadian. She was born and raised in Toronto. She moved to Atlanta, was here. I'm actually outside of Atlanta right now, but she moved to Atlanta, was here for 15 years, surrounded, immersed in black culture. And all of a sudden last year, she's like, yeah, I'm moving to Utah. And I'm like, what the hell is in Utah? Really? And I mean, she's pale. I'm light. I am super light. I'm actually one of the lightest people in my family. I'm lighter than both of my parents, let me just say. But she lighter than me. But sweetheart, when you go out there in Utah, they gonna see that little bit of melanin in you. They gonna spot it. So you think you're gonna blend?
Good luck, because they're gonna do the same thing they did to her when they get there.
Exactly. Yep.
Sajika, I saw your hand, love. Go ahead, man.
Oh my Lord. Listen, I am, this is not me plugging it in, okay? But I'm starting a book club and I'm forcing people to come listen and read along with me, okay? Because I don't know what history y'all wannabe white tea Latinos as a Latina have been fucking reading. Our people were never conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And if you won't take it from me, go take it from fucking Columbus, since you worship him. Columbus, in his own writings, said that Indian women, is how he wrote it, Indian women and men leave their partners without jealousy, envy, or anger. He spoke about how women were the leaders of their community and even took care of military affairs. He spoke about how indigenous women from Latin America, right, were literally drinking spiced herb teas to give themselves ABs, bitches, before an AB was even an AB, to force themselves to not have a child if they felt they no longer wanted that child or no longer wanted to be in that union with that partner. We were not conservative. We were unalived, enslaved, and tortured into being conservative. They dragged indigenous people into residential schools or simply cut off their hands or their heads if they decided to not follow their white tea Jesus. Whenever you, again, if you don't want to take it from me, go take it from Las Casas, okay, another colonizer. Go read about how they said that indigenous children were independent. They were critical thinkers. They weren't told what to do. They weren't forced to follow authority. They were made to experiment and question their surroundings and developed quickly because they were free thinkers. They got to see and critically think for themselves what was good for them. They weren't told. The only reason why conservatism and the way that it exists in any part of Latin America was because we were unalived into believing that way.
Not in they bathe.
And we bathe, yes. They talked about they talked about that as well. They talked about how women were so resilient. It said women were so strong and they would be pregnant, give birth, go bathe themselves in the river, and were up the next day as healthy as ever. They were so mind boggled of how healthy and independent and liberal we were. Latin American people were not conservative. It was beaten into us. It was unalived into us. They said you either follow this, you either believe this, you either think this, or we're going to unalive you. But we don't live there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be unalived for not being conservative anymore. And that's the thing. We were taught if you got closer to white tea people, if you just ran fast enough into the house that you were going to be safe. But at the end of the day, if you run into their arms, you just got closer to the savages, the real savages, the people who form 6% of the population worldwide and who have committed 100% of the G-sides. We are not meant to be conservative. And racism isn't something that you indulge in because it's your First Amendment right. It's something that you, Latinos that are stupid, use in order to make yourselves feel better because you're not strong enough to go against your oppressor, because you motherfuckers sit there and get called a fucking wetback by your boss and have to swallow your pride and keep fucking hammering away. We don't do that shit. We don't punch down. If you're gonna punch up and really show yourself how tough you are. It's embarrassing.
Can I get some coconuts in the chat for Saji? Okay, just so you guys know, even though we're under this regime, we still believe in democracy. And here, the chat votes, and they vote with their dollars. Um, the drop is $50. That's why, Gene, that's why you were dropped earlier. Somebody paid 50 to drop you. Now, and then if you want to come back up, it is double. It's 100 if you want to come back up, because we need to know if that's you really want to have this conversation or you really want to be respectful. Now, I'm going to be fair, but I have to be fair because that has always been the rule. Hey, Oya, that has always been the rule. So, it's the same every single night. Um, Also, so it's I'm Jessica Simone to the blue or the green app, Dash Cat or Schmendo, as they would say, um, or Universe. But at the moment, give me 1 second. Sack her, or you have to send 300 Galaxy. I'm hollering. Sacker, welcome in. How are you? Are you a white person? Because I think we got enough, especially for the conversation. People of color, put it like that. Sacker, maybe it was an accident. So I'm gonna drop you. I am fine. Okay, no problem. Telling white tea truth. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Are you a white tea person?
Yes, I
Okay.
am.
What made you start deconstructing?
So it was exposure for me. I will say, my dad, I experienced seeing a lot of racism from him. He was very, the stereotypes of Black people, saying that they're angry, saying they're violent. I did, my mom and my dad, they were, divorced. They got back together, married. Anyways, it was a very toxic relationship.
That's what I was about to
Anyway,
ask. Well, I was gonna wait till you finish, but I was gonna
yeah, no,
ask
no, go
because
ahead.
usually when they're that racist, they're also somewhat abusive. But that's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Mhm.
And then, so since they were divorced, I had, part-time visitation with my dad. So I wasn't around him as much, thank God. And I also kind of seen things. I'm sorry, were you saying something? I also kind of
You got
seen
bars,
things,
love.
growing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on 1 second. One second,
Okay.
guys.
While she's doing that, you guys, if you haven't given me a follow, please do so. We got 5 more heart hands left in this particular gift goal. Thank you all so much for being here. Tap screen, like Saji said, there's no reason why we're not at 100K. We started out real nice. Share the live. Also, too, you can post it to your story. You can repost it as well as share it out to friends. You can long press on my face. You'll see a bunch of names pop up. It has been a wild Monday. I don't know if it's the Monday blues, or what's going on. But we're getting back on track. Tonight we're talking about white people. What made you start deconstructing racism? Is it Christianity? Is it college? Is it family? School exposure? It could be obviously a number of things. So yes, please come up if you want to share your story or if you are currently deconstructing and there's some things that I would love to know the ways that you are. I do let me know if I get too invasive. I do ask questions. I do want to know specifics because I think it's important for we to know what we're looking for when we're not to know what to deconstruct. Because if you don't know what a microaggression is or something like, oh, can I touch your hair? Or you got pretty hair, or you talk well for, you talk really well, or oh, you're not that angry, or whatever the case may be. You don't know what to look for if you don't hear the example. So I may be asking like specifically, what was the thing? What did he say? What was the response? How was it treated? Things like that. So you guys, and you just never know when you're helping out somebody else who's watching, who's in the comments or ghost watching. Hey, how y'all doing? You can come on in. It's okay. Um, so that you maybe can help free them too, because a lot of people don't even know that some of the things that they're a part of is they think it's normal because the exposure, they keep you segregated and isolated so that they can fill you with whatever. Like again, when I was watching Shiny Happy People, no, sweet, keep sweet. The girl was 16 and had been getting raped and she didn't even know it was illegal. She didn't even know something was wrong. So these conversations are needed because you never know when you're also too helping somebody else. And so we're going to have bars. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna go to the next person, then I'll come back to you, Taylor. Sandra, welcome in. How are you? Sandra, you have to come back.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Oh, hi, I'm good. I was just enjoying the live. I didn't even know I came up.
Okay, no problem. I'll drop you down. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
fine. Thank you.
Fluffy, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
I'm doing amazing.
I would say my family is what helped me start recognizing and deconstructing racism. My daughter and my son have mixed race children, and until being faced with comments and certain things from like other people that have always been close to me, I really didn't know kind of like I guess what to look for because I didn't know. So for me, it's kind of like saying things that made me mad, although I may not have known what category to put it under, but I knew it made me feel some type of way because these are my grandchildren, these are my children's children, and I love them. They're my blood. So, that makes you feel some type of way. And then as you progress and you see things, because number one, all mixed race children do not present as your quote unquote mixed race. Some children present as completely black.
I'm just gonna inject real quick. I know you don't mean anything by it, so please don't take this in the wrong way. Biracial. You have two different races. Please say biracial, not mixed race. We sound like mutts. We are not. I know that's not how you meant it. I just prefer biracial. That would be the correct term. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, we're all just here helping one another. I appreciate you.
That's just what we say. But anyway, um, so I've lost train of thought.
So because you had two biracial children and they're not always biracial looking, they're not always white presenting.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah, that's
they're
what I
a
was at.
darker skin and people could
Yeah.
tell that they were black or they had black parents.
Yeah, you couldn't tell they had white parents because they got brown skin. They, so unless you and then you get the funny looks and people think you done stole somebody's child because they're with you at the store. And so you notice things that you typically would never notice because you typically wouldn't get a funny look, or you typically wouldn't get, you know what I mean? That's the way it is at some places somewhere. And then you go to other places where people are a little bit more, I guess, accustomed to or aware of or whatever, and you don't have that. But then you go to other places, like places I would go just normally in my hometown, and you get funny looks. I still get it to this day. So, I just I think that having exposure to what people who don't necessarily look like you go through is the way I, number one, can destruct it, and then you get to see firsthand just what some of the things are that people talk about. You get to see it, and you're like, well, yep, that's yeah, that's true, or yeah, that happens, or yeah. So I would say that's how I can deconstruct and really kind of have a better understanding of what people say they go through. So
So did you have you ever do you feel like your parents may have been racist?
yeah.
Why do you feel like you didn't feel, and I'm assuming, did you grow up around any black people?
Yeah, I grew up in a small town in Alabama, and then when I got grown, I moved to Midland, Georgia. But my daddy for sure was definitely racist.
Was he abusive too?
No, not to us children. No, he was not.
He
My
was
daddy was
abusive to
not
your
abusive.
mom?
My daddy talked ugly to mama. I can say that, but like hitting her and all that stuff, no. But my dad was definitely, racist. I can remember certain words and things that he used when he referred to non-white people. So I know now that is what, it was racism. I know that now. But when you're a kid like me growing up, you don't know that. That's just secondhand. When you grow up in a household like that and you hear certain terms or things, you don't even know that, oh, that could be considered racist, because you don't even know nothing about it. That's your parents, you're listening, and it's just the regular, it's a Monday. So as you get more exposure and you learn, hey, that hurts somebody, or that could make something bad happen, or that could put you in a bad spot if you go somewhere and you're saying that or doing that, then you learn. But when you're just regular in your house and you're just with your family, and that's the normal lingo, or that's the normal rhetoric, it's just normal. But
So
then until you go out in the world and you realize, hey, that's not normal, then you see a difference.
Right. When did you notice that it wasn't normal?
When I started going to high school,
Mhm.
when I started going to high school and I started wanting to have friends, and my friends didn't all look like me, even though so we had black and white, but we didn't have like a bunch of Mexicans or, well, I'm sorry, Hispanics, and wasn't Asians. The most diverse thing was just black and white for us. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So but yet when you're in school, you having fun, and you
And you
have
find yourself
music in
participating in
common.
these racial comments.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
so you start seeing things different.
Mhm.
But that's
You
when
see
that
things different in
kind of,
high school, but instead, if in the beginning, I'm assuming you were a participant opposed to starting to deconstruct.
I wouldn't say I was a participant, because I never had a situation to where I I had to go out in the world and behave in a certain type of way. But
No,
you
no, I mean,
hear
even
it.
to your classmates. Were y'all friends? Did
To my
you
classmates, no, because what it was is, if you didn't talk to me, I didn't talk to you.
So you
And
didn't have any
then
black friends?
you didn't have, well, as far, yeah, I did. And when I got to high school, yeah, but I'm saying, before I made friends, if you didn't talk to me and you were black, I didn't talk to you, because I didn't know how to even approach, or how to even be, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know. And so if and then as time went by, it just, things happen organically, because you can't help but interact. You can't help but be that way.
Drop some coconuts for Oya. Thank you for the donut that says free Oya. She gonna be nice. Okay, be nice, Oya. I love you. Drop some coconuts for Oya in the chat. Yo, okay. So, why do you feel like it took you to have black grandbabies to start deconstructing instead of seeing people treated a certain way to want to deconstruct?
Because I never saw it, um like what they show on TV, or, like, I never saw it. So, like I say, by the time I got to high school, You start interacting, you start getting your own mind, you start saying, hey, well, I've heard this, I've heard that, but that's not how it happens at school, or that's not how it happens with my friends. And you have your different viewpoints, you have your different mindsets. And then, so I wouldn't even just say with my own grandchildren, it's back before I even ever had children, but more so deconstructing it and seeing things that I wouldn't typically see when you have children or when you have people.
How old are you? I'm sorry to interrupt.
63.
You're 63. So you're the same age as my mother. So you were coming up right at the beginning of integration. You were the first group of people who went to semi-integrated schools, correct?
I couldn't hear you.
You were the first group that went to integrated schools, correct?
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Okay, so in all that time of seeing a lack of seeing segregation, because I'm guessing the first 5 years of your schooling was segregated, if I'm just going by numbers. So you didn't see that maybe that was a problem.
I mean, I was a child. What do I know?
And you're saying that you didn't see it was a problem until you had kids.
I mean, you're not born an adult. You don't even know nothing's going on.
Okay, oh yeah, go ahead, love. And you promised.
I did. Hi,
Not a
my
bless your
name is
mouth.
Leah. So first off, I want to correct you in saying when somebody that is Black is telling you that something is harmful that you are saying, it's not anyway. So I would like you to further deconstruct that because you don't know what's harmful to us, but we know what's harmful to us. Particularly, I would know because being called mulatto is very harmful and is considered a I will punch you in the face moment in Louisiana, where Creole people live, have been called mulatto since the beginning of time. Next thing is you as a child didn't know that racism was happening around you, but Black children knew it was happening around them. See, I hate that you're trying to separate yourself so much from the notion that I had no idea. Oh my gosh, that's like me saying when I was younger, I didn't know what Muslim phobia was, even though it happened when I was 6 years old. See, you're trying to do this thing that white women do, where they like to, I'm so innocent, and oh my gosh, I would never, ma. That's not. You can't do that. You can't do that. If you never participated and you never spoke out about it, you're complicit. You're what we call a complicit bystander. You aided and abetted because you never spoke out. And now that you have biracial grandchildren, you think that, oh, I've done all this deconstructing, and they're probably like 10 or 12 years old or 16 or 17 years old. It takes so much more to deconstruct. It's a constant thing. And even as a Black woman, I have to deconstruct the fact that I'm inherently transphobic and I'm inherently homophobic. Constantly, each day, I have to deconstruct that. Just because one of my brothers is gay and married to a man does not make me not inherently homophobic. Just because I have a trans friend, many a trans friends, does not make me not transphobic. I constantly have to deconstruct. So, that being said, ma'am, you've said a lot of things that are problematic, and I encourage you to keep following these people, Jessica Simone, and people on this panel to further deconstruct that. Because the whole I'm white and I'm innocent and I'm a woman thing is not working. That's called white fragility, what you're doing. And you're placating to the fact that, oh, I got hurt feelings and I got pride. We don't have room for that anymore.
Who got hurt feelings?
Okay, well, hold on 1 second. Did you hear anything else that she said?
I heard her. I didn't know at first she was talking to me. Then I figured she was talking to me. But I kind of understood what she was saying, but I kind of don't. I don't know what the Muslim thing was, so I don't know what that is. And then
It was an analogy, sweetheart. It was an analogy.
Are you in a red state?
I'm in Georgia.
Okay.
But I'm from Alabama.
Oh,
and
okay.
I live in Midland, Georgia
Well,
now.
Okay. I get it. What she was trying to say is that, like, when Hector came up here to say, like, they're biracial, and you said, anyways, you know, it's harmful to be dismissive, because I'm pretty sure you want to set the right tone, especially for your grandchildren, and you don't want them to feel any type of way when people call them mixed, like a mutt or a dog or anything like that. You want
Oh,
to
I didn't know that was I didn't even know that was a thing.
right. That's
Yeah,
what.
but when a black man told you that, you were very dismissive.
Let me turn my
of that.
phone up so I can hear her. Now say
Yes,
what?
grab your hearing aid.
And when Hector came up here to tell you
Huh?
that's what Hector came up here to say. He was saying, like, biracial instead of mixed. When you say mixed, the people who are biracial could feel like you're saying they're mixed, like they're a dog or a mutt or something, and to refer
Oh,
to
okay.
your grandchildren as biracial.
Well, I didn't know that. I've said mixed race forever, so I didn't know that was a negative thing. I didn't know that, and that's what I told him. I said,
So when a
okay.
black man
Hold on.
told you, yeah, but you were
Huh?
very
Hold on.
dismissive on that front. Okay, Jess, all right.
I got you. Yeah, biracial, or well, the correct term is biracial or multiracial. Just
Okay.
I was
for
gonna just say, oh,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
for your children, for your grandkids as well. And the thing that I was trying to get into, the reason why I was asking all the question, trying to help you realize that, and that not only you, even though you're a kid, at some point you ask questions, you understand things, you see things are wrong, you see the mistreatment of Black people, probably also in your high school by police. You watch the movies. There's a lot of microaggressions and macroaggressions, so you've seen it. It never affected you, so you didn't care to deconstruct. And
Well, I
now,
wouldn't say not care. I would say as a child, you don't really know what's going on.
Ma'am,
And I
you are
there's
from
a there's
Alabama.
there's a long gap
sorry.
between high school and you having grandchildren. And I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying, like, you got to be honest with yourself. In order, if you don't think anything's wrong, you're not going to change. You got to be honest with yourself about the times that not only either you were a bystander or participated in any type of ways, and even when you don't understand all of the language, sometimes you can come off harmful to others. That's why we're having these conversations, so we can all learn and grow together. So
Okay.
so
But I'm
my
talking about well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no worries. I'm talking about, like, even between a kid, you don't know. At some point, you did know, and it
Well,
wasn't
that's what it's
right when you had grandchildren. So
no. When I was saying when I was in high school, a lot of the things that I'd heard at home were not the things that were happening at school. That's what I was saying. So, and I also said long before I even ever had children, just don't even scratch my grandkids out, but just from me having kids of my own, like long before I even had them, like I said, even like by the time I got in high school, I noticed the difference in things that you could hear at home or you could hear in certain settings, but it wasn't like that at school. It wasn't the same. So long before that, and I said that long before that, I noticed that things didn't always match up to what was said. So I long before had deconstructed, but I felt more so deconstruct and understand more as I had my grandchildren, because I saw things firsthand that I never would see because I'm not Black. So I wouldn't see it and I wouldn't understand it in the same way that I could understand something had I not seen it with my own eyes, because I didn't have that experience. And I don't feel bad for not having that experience, but I do feel good knowing that I recognize, hey, something that's not right, that makes me mad. or that
Mhm.
pisses me off if you say that, and then I see how they look or they feel, or I can imagine, because you got to understand, you're always looking around the corner for someone to be mean to people that you love because, oh, they are this or they are that. So you are looking around the corner. And so I just, like I said, I don't know all of the different lingo, and didn't mean any disrespect by calling them mixed race, because it's what I've always said. And I didn't know that was something bad. I honestly didn't. But I can say long before them, I do see things that were wrong and to deconstruct. And I guess now I can say deconstruct because I know maybe that's kind of what it was then. Things aren't the same at school as they are at home or when you say certain things. And it's not just because it affects me, it's because I got eyes and I can see.
So even back then, when you got eyes and you saw that people at school would say certain things to the black children at your school, the black students at school, and you could see how it affected them and it
Well, that
hurt.
didn't really happen at school like that for us.
So you
At
know,
home, my
Oh
daddy
my
could say
gosh.
ugly things, but for us at school, you didn't see people being they wasn't we you didn't hear people using the N words and all. You didn't, and I'm just being honest with you. We got along at school. We had a good time at school. Some of my friends I still know right to this day from school.
Can I add something?
hold on one second, because KGR had her hand up. Go ahead,
Okay.
because then I'll come back to what I was
Okay,
about to
I'm
say
going to
too.
say this with as much civility, not to upset your panel. Just, okay. Ma'am, you are from effing Alabama. You have
Okay.
literally had an entire group of soldiers have to come in to escort people into schools. You guys, you don't get to say we had a good time at school. Maybe you did because you're white, but I
But
can
this is in the
guarantee that,
70s.
ma'am, the 70s were not easier. Do
Well,
you know,
I
ma'am,
can tell you
ma'am,
my
it's really,
experience.
well, I can tell you what exactly based on the numbers in the actual history, ma'am. The only reason
But
that your
that's
school
history
actually,
that
Okay,
ma'am,
one
ma'am,
second,
ma'am.
Fluffy. I'm gonna just let
okay.
her finish, and I promise I'll give you
Okay.
an opportunity to respond, and you'll
Okay.
Okay,
have
so the only reason that you were even in integrated schools in the first place is either your family didn't have enough money to send you to private school, or your family didn't have enough money to send you to private school. The only reason most of the schools in the South ended up actually integrated is because Jimmy Carter used the Department of Education to force you all from putting everyone into private religious schools. Now, I'm going to point this out.
That had
You were
already
the first,
happened before the
ma'am,
hold on,
70s.
Fluffy. I got you.
when was what, ma'am? Jimmy Carter wasn't president until 1972.
But I'm saying,
So please stop the
Hold
okay.
on,
bullshit.
Fluffy. I got you. Just give me 1 second. Just let her finish.
Yeah, but
And
I don't like, okay, that's
I know,
fine.
and I'm gonna give you the floor to respond and say whatever you need
Yeah,
to
but you
say.
know what? Let
Okay.
me say this, and I'll leave it.
No,
You
Hold
can
on, hold on,
talk
hold
to
on, hold on.
me.
1 second.
You
One
can
second,
you can
Fluffy.
Just
One
wait,
second,
Fluffy.
Fluffy. I got you. I'm going to give you the panel. You see, I'm giving everybody an opportunity to speak. I let you speak. Nobody interrupted. People are raising their hand. They're waiting patiently. I'm gonna let her finish, and then I'm gonna come to you. You can say what you want to say, and then I'm gonna go to Angie. Okay?
again, it doesn't matter that, oh, well, we got along. No, you think you did. And I want to point out the multiple microaggressions that you've actually put up on this panel. You are still centering yourself in the abject horror that your biracial grandkids have to undergo. I am sick and tired of older whitey women pretending that they don't see racism. Oh, well, it didn't really affect me. No, because you were probably the one perpetrating it. You have not deconstructed enough to have a lot of conversations because you do not understand the harm you do. You were able to float through life without ever having to consider how horrible that shit is for non-white people. And I am sick of it. I am sick of well, we didn't know anything. Yes, the F you did. I can guarantee Grandpappy had a Confederate flag up in his house. And that is racist. But you're not going to say anything because you don't want to offend Daddy. You don't want to offend Grandpappy. You don't want to hurt the other men in your family. You are literally part of the issue. You don't get to feign ignorance just because it's inconvenient and it makes you look bad. And that is really what you're doing up here. You're trying to utilize your biracial grandchildren as the reason you deconstructed. And I hate to break it to you, you ain't deconstructed shit. You are the every other white tea woman who thinks that because you are white, your privilege should extend to your biracial grandchildren. And it's becoming a Pikachu face that you found out that that doesn't work. So now you're trying to understand why people are racist, not looking in the mirror, not looking in the mirror at all. If you hold your purse closer to yourself, if you look sideways at Black people who are walking near you, if you comment on how well we speak, if you say things like, oh, she only got that job because of A, B, C, and D, instead of understanding that she's probably 10 times more qualified than you'll ever be, then that is it. You have not deconstructed enough. And it would behoove you to actually take the time and shut your mouth and actually listen to what people are telling you, because you are pushing harmful stuff to your biracial grandchildren with your behavior. I'm gonna land there. I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna respond to you.
Right. I'm gonna give
First
you
of
the
all, I'm
floor.
not
Go.
pushing anything to harmful to my grandchildren. Let's start there. And second off, I've never since I've been on this panel said that I didn't have racism in my home, because I said that very first off. That's what I was trying to say as it relates to my experience at school. Third off, I'm not going to say that what you all are saying as it relates to history did not happen. But in my experience at my school, the way we treated each other, that was real. And I don't care what you say, and I don't care how many of you went to Alabama. I don't care what you did. I don't care. I know what I went through, and I know, first of all, I ain't never been a racist in my life. I don't have to behave that way. I don't care I don't care who is racist around me. I don't. And when I got old enough to be an adult and see the world and get out, I knew better, and I've always lived better. So you can't test my decency just because of history. And that's not to negate history, but you can't test my decency because of history.
I have a question for Fluffy.
Hold on.
So let me finish with her. And the next thing is this: you want to ram me and try to say I'm a racist and I promote racism and I do
Hold
all
on.
these
She
things.
didn't say that, Fluffy. She
That's
didn't say you
basically what she said.
Basically,
just because
no.
I'm white, then I want to use
Well, white
my
people are in
grandchildren
here. Are
as
in.
a peak, I don't care nothing about inherent race. Let me tell you something. I take care of those kids.
I don't. Nobody said that you did not.
I take care of them. Dang on
Nobody
good.
said that you did not.
Ain't nothing that I got that they can't have or don't have.
Nobody said that you didn't take care
When
of your
my daughter
grandchildren.
married her husband, we right there threw them their wedding, invited everyone we knew. We get along. We don't have no problems.
Oh my God.
That was her choice in her life. What's owing your God? What, like, tell me.
Hold on, no. Hold on.
Tell me what I can say that's not gonna be offensive. Like, if someone else was sitting up here and they were saying they threw their daughter her wedding, they did this and did that, it will be all good. But because I'm white, saying I threw my daughter her wedding, her husband is Black, we love him, we love our family, we have a great family, then I'm using that as something bad. The thing is that the same way you don't want people to stereotype you, the same way you don't want people to throw off stereotypes on you, I don't want it done to me. And that's exactly what you're doing. You want to stereotype me because I am up here being honest with you.
For not.
Hold on.
No,
hold on. No. One second. Everybody, please just take a deep breath. Right. Give me a follow if you guys have not done so already. Tap the screen. We got some.
And
this
I'm
is-
not
hold
saying
on,
Alabama
Fluffy.
didn't
1
have its
second, Fluffy. Let me
problems.
take a breath, babe. It's okay. Nobody said that you're not taking care of your kids. You don't love your sister, your daughter, baby daddy. Nobody, Fluffy. Big Fluff, calm down. I got you. Just hold on, Fluff. Fluff, 1 second. I'm making an announcement. Just take a deep breath. Take a couple of deep breaths. Now, give me a follow if you have not done so already. We have some kisses, heart kisses that we are trying to close out. The gifts that I'm putting up are gifts in the gift gallery. If you look in the gift gallery, you tap at the top of my screen and you'll see my profile pop up at the bottom and you'll see gift gallery. And that'll kind of show you like whoever sends that many of that gift, you will be like the leader of that gift. But we have to close that out. Like one person sent at least 3. Oh shit. Bitch Ann said, don't worry about it, baby. I got it. Kiss all over me. Kissing. Okay. Thank you, Mo, as well. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's okay. Nobody said you're not taking care. Before you come off mute, let me finish my statement. Nobody said you're not coming. You're not taking care of your kids. Nobody said you don't love your family. We're talking about deconstructing. You know that in your household, you knew your parents were racist. You know that what our parents teach us, we repeat just because that's just the way that we were raised. And it sometimes we realize, oh shit, this fucked up. We see people getting treated wrong. I'm going to start deconstructing. It's not like they say it is. Are you having then we're going to get into, are you having those conversations with your family members? Because I'm about to come back up to you, Toots, here in a little bit. Okay, shout out to Toots. Can I get some coconuts in the chat for Toots at the top? Okay, I really appreciate her and their patience. Yeah, nobody said you care, but these are things that we have to be real about. Just because you don't say the N word and slap black people doesn't mean that you don't fall into the racism or uphold white supremacy to some degree. Hey, welcome in, Brett Ray. Draw some coconuts for the Brett Ray too. I appreciate you. Doesn't mean that you don't have any, you don't have any deconstructing that you don't need to do. And it's not a thing that you do overnight. We're continuously doing it. And I love and the fact that you have biracial grandchildren is, just aiding you more in being able to deconstruct, right? But we have to be honest about people. I get that people don't want to be honest about some of the things that they have done or said as well. And again, when you're white and you're not the one being racist for, sometimes you don't even know some of the things that you do are offensive. That's why we have these conversations so we can figure it out, and we suggest books to be able to read as well so that we can continue to learn and grow.
But I think that goes both ways. I think
I,
that you
that's
know
why
what,
Oya said that she has things that she has to deconstruct. Obviously, it's not racism because it's
but
systemic oppression.
I
Obviously, it's not
say
white supremacy
both
because
ways with racism. I say both ways because here's the
racism
thing,
is systemic oppression.
and I'm gonna say this: you can't sit here and tell me my life, and you can't tell me who I am. You can't do that.
God's
Just like I
sake.
can't sit here and tell
Hold
none of
on.
y'all
Yes,
who you are.
please.
Can I just finish?
No.
Hold on,
You
no,
can't sit
hold
here.
on, let her finish because Angie, I think Angie, was that you that wanted to ask a question?
You can't sit here and tell me
And
who I
then
am.
Saji.
You can't sit here and tell me who I am. You can't sit here and make jokes about me in the comments and be condescending to me, Big Lex or Big Fluff or whatever she was saying. I don't even know who Lex is, but big somebody. Like, you didn't do that to them. So like I'm saying, if you're going to be consistent about how you want to be treated, make sure you're consistent about how you're treating other people, because you do not know me. And I'm not responsible for the past. I'm not responsible for any of that. What I am responsible for is to make sure I'm a decent person and to carry that along in my family. And that's exactly what I have always done in my own personal life. And if I was going to get up here and pretend like racism didn't exist, I wouldn't have never told you that, hey, yeah, I know it exists, because it was in my house as a child. And it really was. And that ain't a dang on thing I can do about that, because that wasn't me. And it was not. And I just want to say to the lady up there, I don't know her name, it's KGR. And I did take high offense to the fact that you said I'm up here something about a Pikachu and something else because of my grandkids. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. And I don't have to use grandchildren as nothing. That just is a happenstance of part of my life. I'm just a decent human being.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Hold on, y'all. I don't want us to get
I'm just trying to say, why am I not decent, but you are decent?
You know what?
What's the difference in us?
Fluff, I just think maybe you need to take a breather for now.
No, I mean, that's not fair. You're being biased.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. She just said I wasn't a decent.
Matter of fact, hold on.
Come off mute.
We do not care.
Big shout out to LM. She's trying to drop big fluff. She's trying to control shit. Lord, like that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't even know that part. The centering is also a thing. It's a thing. Okay, it's a thing. Hey, first of all, so drop some massive coconuts in the chat and some salt for Mickey Ficky LM in the chat. Let her cook. Drop that. Let her cook. For LM. Brett, I saw all the race, but I know the thing, so I didn't say anything, so everybody could keep putting it in there.
Damn it.
And it just really it went with the conversation. We're talking about white people deconstructing, and people like I like salt. So I'm like, it kind of goes. So I'm with it. I'm running with it.
Listen, I can't be mad. I just, like I said, I just want to come up and say,
I like salt.
Maybe okay. Shout out to Tooks again, because let me tell you something. Tooks the only white woman in the chat. I mean, on the panel, they ain't gave ain't had no problems out of. Okay, she whatever she deconstructing is, we gonna put a deconstructing class, and Tooks gonna let us know what she be doing because it's working. Oh my God! Thank you for the raid, Brett. I appreciate you.
absolutely, I appreciate you. I do got to bounce, but I just wanted to make sure. I started seeing a couple comments. They're like, "What the fuck is going on with this chat?" And I'm like, we up in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I appreciate the Brett raid. Thank y'all, everybody that kept on spamming. Y'all are true Brett fans because they like, nah, we gonna keep saying this shit until.
yeah, I told them, I was like, hey guys, so whenever we do this, I'm like, do not say anything. Just I have people say the most outrageous shit until the creator is like, what the hell is going on? And then it's like, oh, it's a Brett raid. So we were going.
I love it. I love it. I'm like, yeah, keep doing it. I love it. Thank you so much, Brett. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Much love, y'all.
That's a good night. Oh, Angie. I'm pretty sure your question was to Fluff.
Yeah, so I was just listening, and this might not be a popular opinion because again, this is my first time in this room, so I'm just learning, perspectives, and I feel as though it's a safe space, so I've hung around. But I was listening to Fluffy, and I also do just want to say that I facilitate a peer-to-peer dialogue at my job that consists of these type of conversations. So it is definitely a safe space, and I do have to interject and make sure everyone feels heard. When she was speaking, I'm going to say this, and this is not from a biased place. This is just from a humanity place. I have to say that her coming into this space and sharing, that was brave of her. So sitting there listening,
agree.
She shared a lot of details, gave insight that I don't know that I would have gotten if she wouldn't have joined and shared. So I did appreciate that. I did want to really quick go back to the term mixed. I do want to say that mixed people, multiracial people, it depends on who you are, because some of us, I'm one of those people. I've been referred to as mixed. I've been referred to a lot of derogatory terms, but mixed, I don't really take offense to it, because at the end of the day, it's not like someone said mulatto. I feel like that could be, derogatory, just considering where it came from. Same thing with mixed, right? But we could say the same thing about the N word, right? We could say the same thing. So I'll just say that to anybody in the room right now that is multiracial, please be open to your fellow multiracial, brothers and sisters who may be okay with certain terminology. We don't want to just, rule their experience out and what they prefer. And that's why I just kept putting in the chat, stay curious, stay curious, stay curious. There's a lot of people on the panel and in this room that have been here, and you guys have a culture in this room, and I feel that energy. But I just want to say, don't lose the open-mindedness of hearing, a person speak. Because I personally, and I'm pro-Black, and I'm will always be advocating for us, but I also want to stay curious so I can really hear, what is she really saying? And what I heard her say, I'm just going to say what I felt like she was saying, that because her daughter was married to her Black husband, and, she's got the grandkids, that she's not one of the white people that doesn't know that, just her having a, being that close to a Black person and Black family, extended Black family, that she's probably already gained some insights and probably already addressed some of these, innate you were talking about, right? She probably already has had to confront them because her daughter gonna call her out, right? Because her daughter don't want her treating her husband. So I just, again, I just wanted to share that. Might not be popular, but it's all love. It's all love, and I appreciate you allowing me to speak.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, obviously, I do have this space because I am curious. Not only am I curious, I think it's important to one, study our enemy, but two, the people who have deconstructed, in these details that we don't necessarily know to get down to the issue. Like a lot of the racism, the heavy race. Oh, damn, what happened to her? If you see her back in the box, just pull her back up. A lot of the racism, also too, I'm noticing come with a bunch of uh abuse as well, right? Um, whether albeit verbal abuse, physical abuse, or whatnot. Angie, did you drop on purpose? I'm gonna send her a request to come back up.
I think she just wanted a cookie and for people to praise her for being
Oh, no,
accepting
don't
of
be
her.
negative, Kate.
No, we're talking about the white. I mean, we're talking about Fluffy.
Please
I'm
don't
talking
No,
attack.
no. Hold on. Let me finish what I was saying. Oh, but I do have the space because I do want to be curious. I mean, I am curious. Okay, I have a lot of questions. But what I was trying to get to her is like, I want her to know that I'm not trying to like. We got to be honest in certain situations, because now that it's affecting you because it's close and dear to you because these are my daughter's husband. It's my thing. Like I'm a seeing it and attacking it, and like now I want to deconstruct more. And you got to be honest, like, oh, okay, okay, maybe it came up on accident. Um, oh yeah, why just now saying that I'm live on the thing? Why does it wait so long? Do I gotta pay premium?
So it don't spam your chat and trigger a raid.
Yeah, because I've been on 3 hours, and it just said I'm
Oh,
live. I gotta probably pay the premium, but
It's
I think
$3.99.
I am curious. I got a lot of questions, and I know it's not gonna always be easy, but I appreciate the people who are brave enough to come and tell, and I try to hold those safe spaces. Which I get it can get a little frustrating at times, and a lot of people don't even want to admit some hard truths because I appreciate the people also too who come up here and admit to like, hey, I was a part of that. I've done that because I get it. You were raised that way, so I expect you to succumb to some type of degree. Your parents make you also, as well as your schooling, trying to have friends and things like that. But we don't want to sugarcoat it to some degree, saying like, oh, I didn't know anything. I saw it, but I didn't know. I didn't know what it is. But I do, believe that now that it's affecting her and her grandchildren, because everybody love their grandbabies, that now I feel like, I really want to deconstruct. And I just think it's important to like realize, hey, like, damn, I didn't care at first. Maybe this is what people are talking about. There are so many different microaggressions and macroaggressions, that just things that people say that they feel some type of way. Now me also, I just learned today that of biracial and mixed race, but I'm not biracial, so it's not for me to say like, oh, I can say that I've been saying it. That's just like them saying I've been saying nigga, and I'm gonna keep saying it. So I definitely don't want to be dismissive to anybody that is biracial either. You know what I mean? But you being biracial, you said some people, whatever they're okay with and some are not. And I guess that's all up to you. No, we all have things to learn, Fluffy, which is why I think also too, oh yeah, I was trying to say like you don't like even me being a
Can I
black
use
woman.
myself as an example?
Say that again.
Can I use myself as an example
Yeah, go ahead.
to Fluffy?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was having a problem with you were asking her what when you were growing up, what caused you to see racism and to deconstruct? And she kept talking about how she just had a good time and everyone got along and she didn't really see it because she was just a kid. And that's actually part of the problem. when I first came up on this panel, you asked me the same question, how did I deconstruct? And I shared with you how I didn't really see it or know about it until my sister brought home 2 Black foster children. And it wasn't until that it wasn't until I could see someone else's experiencing racism that I started seeing it. And then something I used to do was I used to have they were my token foster nephews. I tokenized them. I was like, oh yeah, I'm white savior. We're doing so much. We're saving these Black children from their Black parents who don't take care of them, blah, blah, blah. And that was terrible. That's awful. That was awful of me.
I appreciate your honesty and transparency.
And then another thing you asked me is, you'd ask, well, oh, did you see any racism like on the TV or whatever?
We lost
TV,
you.
and I couldn't give you an example.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Say
Can
that
you hear me
again.
now?
Yeah.
And you would ask me if I'd ever seen Black people on TV and if I'd seen racism there, and I couldn't give you an example. And that's part of the problem, because there is absolutely racism. I just can't identify it because it didn't affect me. Learn to identify it and see it in yourself, not just in other people. That's what deconstruction is. So now when I'm watching TV, when I'm watching the NFL stuff, and when I'm interacting with people, I have to learn to identify them when they're being racist, when I'm being racist.
Thank you. I think that was also too a good example, and I appreciate also too. Can somebody mute Raja? Saji, go ahead. I saw your hand up.
Okay. And I know Aya wanted to go, so she wants to rock, paper, scissors. I love Aura.
Oh, and then
What else?
yeah, after that.
Okay. What I'll say is she spoke about her grandchildren and taking care of them. And I am a person, again, not to white woman this, right? But I am a person who is autistic, and I hear the tonality in people's voices. When she spoke about her grandkids and how she took care of them, she said it like, I take care of them. What else do you want from me? She chose to marry who she chose to marry. We were there. We threw her party. What else do they want from us? She would have never had this experience or this conversation or this need to learn and deconstruct if she wouldn't have been, quote unquote, put in that position, right? Not only that, I mean, she said in the chat that people were nasty to her, right? And rude. So she's already taking the experience of other people and the questions of other people and treating them as aggressions towards her. Now, because I was reading the comments and I got distracted. Racism to white tea people, giving credit to them for having to deal with it in her situation, is like giving credit to man for sitting in a birthing room while their wife gives birth. They will never feel her pain. They will never understand what she went through. They just happen to sit by her as she screamed and pushed the child out of her body. They're still never going to understand it. Her taking care of her grandchildren and hearing things being said is still never going to affect her, because guess what? She can drop off her grandchildren and forget about it and go on about her merry day. Her saying that she wasn't racist herself and nothing happened to her at her school is because, again, men don't constantly think about the pain that women go through on their day-to-day basis because they don't feel it and it doesn't pertain to them. White people only understand it when it affects them, when they have been hurt by another white person, or when they are forced to deal with their own family members being racist to now people that they are supposed to love and care for. But I think, if I'm, being honest, if Fluffy were to have a choice of whether or not, she would have white grandkids, she would have picked to have white grandkids. I think this was something that was forced onto her because realistically, like KGR said, she grew up in an era where schools were newly integrated. We know that this shit this shit was happening in the schools. right? And she saw the racism in her family. And yes, Fluffy, it was forced. Cause if you would have had a choice, you wouldn't have made your daughter pick a black man. That's why you had to come up here and say, "Well, I take care of them." And you didn't treat people up here like they were human beings. You treated them as though your opinion mattered more than theirs, and your experience mattered more than theirs or of your grandchildren. You haven't deconstructed.
Oh yeah, and then telling white truths, and then I'm gonna go back to Toots, cause then I'm gonna have a question for um Toots and telling. Go ahead, Oya.
First of all,
Uh oh.
after I'm done with this, right? I would really like to pass the um the conversation over to our minister of Belt to Ass Ministries, Dayton down there. I would really like to pass it down to him so he can, cause yeah. Um, I find it extremely gross that our aunties and the older generation are still willing to placate and sugarcoat things to white people. Did we not learn our lesson? Do not keep learning this lesson over and over again? And like Brother Kendrick said, I went to therapy and that taught me to open up, but it also taught me that I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about white feelings, white fragility, none of that. I really don't. Because when it comes down to this, there is nothing that they can, white woman's here, white man's here. I got black grandchildren. My daughter's married to a black man. My cousin from fucking 4 generations ago was married to a black. There's nothing they can do to make me feel any sympathy for them when it pertains to this. Now, she could have took everything that we were saying and used that as a tool to deconstruct herself. But instead, what I find so often is when we try to placate and sugarcoat and white pander to these people and we try to have these conversations, it like we need a belt to ass minister. And I know you guys hate it when I'm a YN, I have to like cuss, scream, and holler. But I'm tired of having these conversations. We've been having these conversations for generation after generation. I'm tired. I know a lot of people are tired. Stop trying to placate. If they don't understand when you're talking to them, fuck it. Fuck them, fuck it. Like it's a done deal. Because sooner or later, they're gonna realize, I hope in some deep meditation or praying to white Jesus or whatever, that like what we're actually saying makes sense. Like you wouldn't white explain this to Jewish people. You wouldn't like what? Like this don't make no fucking sense. Like I just don't get it. And for her to like sit up here and literally miss everything that I was saying. I'm not saying that I'm perfect as a black woman. I'm saying that like we all have deconstructing to do.
All of us.
All of
In one
us.
way or another. And I think it starts just by listening to people, especially if people are in that space. Like again, which is why I too just learned today about biracial. I'm not gonna say, oh no, whoop, whoop, whoop. I think that's probably where the first um I I think that's where people first were thrown off. Even we said like, hey, I just came up here to tell you this, and you're like, well, anyways, we don't want people just like you don't want to be dismissed. Other people don't want to be dismissed. And I think it's about, giving that same respect because everybody in the comments said something. But we're still trying to have these hard conversations. Nobody's perfect. White T, telling White T, how you doing? White T Truth, how are you? I know you said you got the store
I'm
now.
doing good. I'm doing good. Yes, yes. Can you still hear me well? It's like when I go to talk, my bars drop. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, no, back to what I was saying earlier. You know, just the exposure. I wasn't with my dad full time. And when I was with my mom, we moved to Kansas. And we was in Topeka, Kansas. And so that's when I went to a predominantly BLK school. So of course the rhetoric that my dad was spewing about, you know, black people are violent, black people are mean, you know, they're this, they're that. That's kind of like what he pushed like right in front of me. I didn't see that, you know. I actually had, you know, all of my friends were BLK. I was the only white girl in the entire class. So growing up seeing that and continuing to see that, you know, anybody of color on even just my whole dad's side of the family, you know, they were very aces. They lived in Missouri. So dealing with that, and then you know, just seeing like kind of what went down in my family, like what he projected about BLK people, you know, is what he was, you know. He raped my sister, had those charges on her. I was a victim of rape by my brother, YT. So just growing up in that type of environment and the toxic things that I went through, kind of, you know, made me bat an eye towards, you know, my own people,
Right.
honestly. And I was even with a white guy. I had a kid with a white guy. We did get married at a young age. He ended up beating me. So
Was
just
he
all
racist
those
too?
yeah, I would say so. You know, he did try to be in like you know, in proximity of black people and kind of tried to act like it, but I think he still had racial tendencies. You know, I think so. You know, looking back on it now, I was younger then, but I think so. So dealing with all of that, and I went through that situation. I got beat by him, got out of that, dealt with it for about 6 months. You know, I was talking to a man who was BOK, who saved me from that entire situation. So, you know, that's, of course, you know, we didn't end up having children together. I did have a baby at the time. He's raised him. He's 13 now. He's raised him since he was 6 months. And we've been together 13 years. So, growing, and then, you know, I knew a little bit about racism then, of course, of what I went through. But then once I had children and got with him, you know, I seen all the unfair treatment towards him, towards my children in the schools, with the police, with my spouse, you know, and just seeing how the system wasn't fair. So, you know, that's where I'm at now. You know, I don't really speak to my parents. You know, I live very far away from them. We don't really have a good relationship just because there was some things said once I did have biracial children. So, um, you know, there lies that as well. So just a whole bunch of different things that caused me to deconstruct. And, you know, of course, you know, and for the lady that was up earlier, you know, and I know she was trying to be wholeheartedly like, you know, truthful, you know, but sometimes like in our older like YT women, you know, even my mom, you know, trying to deconstruct her as well growing up and teaching her like, you know, like that's not okay. What you're saying is racist. What you're doing is racist. You know, we get defensive easily, and we don't take constructive criticism well. I think that's something that we need to work on as a whole. So,
One, I'm already sending you a virtual hug. Okay. Hugging you so tight. Um, because I do realize, or just all of the stories that, you know, I've heard, a lot of it is, even when the parents are racist, they're usually more so abusive. And like you said, the things that he was saying about black people is a lot of projection. And that's what not only do we know with this administration, every projection is a confession. And probably everybody that supports him thinks the same way. Like they're just putting that onto other people. And now, especially when I know that's not us, I don't even get offended. I immediately look at them like, "Oh, this is the shit that you do. This is the things that you do." So with the things that your dad was doing, did your mom know and did she leave him? And are
Yeah,
you at a
so
party?
no.
Okay.
No, do you hear a whole bunch of noise in the background?
Well, we did, but it seemed to be really quiet
Okay.
now.
No, that was the children's in the back, the children's TV in the background. No, so they actually were together. They got married 3 times and divorced. So very, very toxic. So my mom did leave him and then get back with him multiple times because my dad, used his YT privilege and power and money with my mother, trying to just, beat her in the court system. No matter what my dad did, no matter what my dad said, he continued to win and get custody over us and still had visitation.
Even
Back in
after the shit he did?
yes, yeah, he even won that case. So, yep. So yeah,
And so
yeah.
did your mom try to leave him because of that?
Um, it was actually a really weird situation. I was like kindergarten when this happened. So yes, I can recall like my mom telling me that they had arguments about it, and they were definitely it was like some weird white people shit that went on us honestly. Now like as I'm older and I'm finding out things, my mom seen it and was okay with it at one point. I've heard that from my older sister. So like some really weird people shit, white people shit. And I didn't find this out until I was older. So yeah, it was a very uncomfortable situation. Even now, like I didn't express and I didn't tell my mom about anything about my brother until I became an adult. Actually I just told her like last year. And I'm 31 now. So with that being said,
Yeah, because some people never say anything.
yeah, no. And she was still, believe it or not, she was still like, "What? This didn't happen. This happened. Why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "Well, like I seen that she didn't really do anything about my sister, so respectfully, so I didn't feel comfortable even telling my mom, because we didn't even
Yeah.
really have a great relationship either." So
Um, when it comes to just even the mental, who do you feel? Because we talk about like how cis heterosexual, allegedly heterosexual white men are a danger to the globe, and then sometimes we come across the mothers who uphold not only give birth to this, but uphold um these white men and don't hold them accountable and don't do anything about it. Who do you feel like was worse? Was your dad or your mom?
I
Or
think
had
they both played a big role in just the mental toll of everything. Honestly, it was actually so bad and so toxic that I ended up marrying at 17 just to get out of like the whole visitation deal. Because I did get pregnant when I was 16. So the guy that I was with, the YT guy that I was with, I ended up marrying him just to. I didn't know what love was. I was only like 16 years old, So I definitely wasn't marrying him for that reason. I thought I loved him. I didn't know what love was back then because I seen all that toxic stuff growing up. I thought, abuse was, I thought verbal abuse was okay and that was like normalized. But yeah, I definitely think they both played a huge role in that. And it was so bad that I married to get out of the situation and just leave the home altogether. So I've been out of the home since I was 16. Yeah. And my mom would call me a bitch, and my dad, he wasn't any better. He told me don't have any salt and pepper babies, and my mom said the hard R. So yeah.
do you well, I'm assuming if he using his money and privilege, maybe he came from do you feel like they came from a place of wealth? Even like with what
Yes, my dad's side of the family was very wealthy.
mm. so he can get away with whatever the fuck he wanted to get away with.
Exactly. Yeah, there was several times where he was lying on the lying about my mother to the police and court cases, and they wouldn't listen to her at all because she was very defensive and she didn't really know how to handle certain cases in court and how she looked. So he would always win no matter what he did or said.
Another kind of power, yeah, that is. Because it reminds me of like when they say, "Oh, you don't marry, anybody black or whatever," and if you do, I'm gonna cut your trust fund off, I'm gonna cut your money off, and I'm assuming they cut you off, considering the fact that you don't talk to them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. My the white baby that I did have, he came and celebrated my entire dad's side of the family, celebrated, had a baby shower. When I got with the guy I was with and we had our first child, they were just gone. They nowhere to be found. So and still to this day, and because of that, and it's a toxic situation, I don't want my kids knowing anybody like that, or anybody that's evil. I don't want them involved into their lives to create more harm. So I've chose for the better of themselves, and that he's not in proximity at all and doesn't even know them. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's good for the children.
yeah, absolutely.
Now, this question is to both of you guys. Were there any, and I'll start with you since we're already talking, were there any topics considered off limits to question in your household?
My dad, I can recall my dad always telling me, like, stay in a child's place, and I really wasn't involved in a lot of conversations. I wasn't able to have a voice at all, really.
And were they quote unquote Christian?
Yes, but they were on smokes.
They was on what?
Smokes, yes.
Fenty, Coca-Cola.
METH.
How he keep his money then? Because you gotta spend it all on that.
His family, he kind of kept it. His family always saved him. His mom, specifically.
See, that's what I be talking about. Like right when I be thinking, like, oh my God, these men are terrible. It be the mamas too, the mamas boys, them boy moms. Oh my God, I don't know if anybody watched the Ed Gein story, but she ain't do nothing but trigger everything he had coming. But he was crazy and psycho too.
Yeah,
But
my brother has coddled. My mother has coddled both of my brothers, and she is now getting karma from that as well. Because I told her, I was like, "Mom, don't baby him." I wasn't babied. I got, I was, I left out of the home, and I've been pretty independent since. And as for him, he's struggling. Can't keep a job. Can't. He had a wife and kids, and didn't do well with that either. Now they're divorced, so. It's a continuous struggle. My mom calls me all the time and complains and like, I don't know what to do with your brother. I'm like, well, Mom, that's what you get when you baby your children. You end up you end up having to deal with it in the long run. So
Cigar Head, congratulations on your new baby, y'all. To everybody, tell Cigar Head congratulations. He just had a new baby boy, you guys. Congratulations. You should be nervous. I'm not gonna lie. The Ed Gein story is one of the sickest fucking serial unalivers that I have heard. Everybody else is just a replica of him, and I'm pretty sure there are more that have not gotten caught in those rural areas. But that was one of the sickest. The only thing that I hate, one thing that I hate too, is the way they try to normalize the psycho. When black people do anything, you're a thug, you're this, you're crazy, your parents don't take care of you. They try to normalize him and make you feel sorry for him and the shit that he has done. It only got worse, Tay. Whatever you can imagine. Like the man, I ain't gonna get no spoilers.
I know it's almost like you can't help from giving the spoilers.
Yeah.
I still have to watch the last episode because there was 8.
I watched
But the entire time, You just want to look away because you can't believe it. But it's like, it's this cycle of just complete violence and like mental, sexual, religious abuse that these people inflict onto one another. And which is why I just have no trust in white tea people.
Girl,
Like
the mama. Oh my God.
the mom.
The things she would say to him, only a mother could love you. I would have thought a bitch only a son could fucking love you. Cause what the fuck? Um. mm. Okay. Tukes, were there any conversations that were off? Any topics that were considered off limits to question? In your household.
To like my mom or my dad?
Either or.
Well, my relationship with my dad was extremely odd. We didn't really talk at all, even though we lived in the same house for 18 years. I wasn't allowed to really talk to him at all.
What? Hold on. Would you weren't allowed because he didn't engage, or it was like don't talk to your dad?
My mom would discourage me from talking to him because that we would annoy him. And if we like, he always stayed in his bedroom. He had his own like TV. He never ate dinner with us. He always just went to his own bedroom. And if we like knocked on his door if we needed something, hell, I remember when I started my period and I had to go ask him for, because he financially abused my mom, who wouldn't give her money. So I had to go ask him for tampons one time and he got real mad at me for needing tampons. So yeah, I didn't talk to my dad really.
When he get mad, he would just yell, or was he? I don't know. You said you don't have to
No,
answer that question.
he has he never ever, I don't recall him ever having once yelled at me. He would what's funny is my mom did physically abuse me quite a lot. And I love my mom so very much. We just lost her this summer.
I'm sorry.
I love her. But my dad's burning in hell. I don't know. He's just whatever. But he, yeah, I was like terrified of him.
What made him worse than her if she was the physical abuser?
Probably just the complete lack of relationship and connection. Also so my paternal grandfather molested me at like 2 or 3 years old. And
2
my
or
mother
3?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
And he didn't believe me, but my mom did. So I don't know how much of that influenced that.
That'll hold y'all connection, because I
But
know
yes.
what it feels like to not be believed.
Yeah, and I'm actually pretty fortunate because I don't have a lot of memory of it, and it only happened, to the best of my knowledge, for a short time. We lived an hour away from his family. So if it happened, it probably was only a handful of times. And my mom found out pretty early on and stopped us from ever seeing his side of the family again.
How did she find out?
I believe it was my twin sister who told him. Or told her. And we came home with, I think, my mom always told the story, we came home with blood in our underwear. We were just getting potty trained.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We are all sending you hugs
I
because
don't
I
have
see
like
people.
a real memory of it. I don't have a lot of like, I don't even remember the actual abuse. The only thing I can remember is being like playfully chased around in the bedroom. And then when he caught me, I didn't think it was funny anymore. Like I don't remember anything else.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't remember 99% of my childhood. It's like my brain can't
It's protecting you.
Yeah, I can't retain, like, it's hard for me to remember even good memories. I don't hardly remember any of my childhood.
Oh, girl. I'm hugging you. I'm hugging you. I know you can't remember, but oh my goodness. And then why would the fuck wouldn't your daddy believe?
Well, for the longest time, I used to excuse my father for that because my mom is schizophrenic. So I think because it was his dad that did it, and because she is schizophrenic, I think he just told himself it didn't happen. And then I actually did find about a year after he died, I found a bunch of stuff like notes in his, like, I don't know, he had this tote and he
Mhm.
had some notes. So I think he also somewhat kind of believed us, but then because we said it was grandpa that did it, he blamed my maternal grandparent, my grandpa. He said,
Mhm.
"Oh, it was probably your dad. It wasn't my dad." And
Mhm.
it
So he believed
definitely
it happened. He just didn't want to believe it was his dad.
Yeah, and the thing is
Mhm.
that I've never once ever had a conversation with a man about what happened to us. He wouldn't talk about anything ever to and we just didn't talk about it.
Mhm.
So for him, with him, everything was off topic. And we couldn't talk to him about anything, nothing. My mom, my mom was the exact opposite. She overshared everything too much. She would talk about anything and everything. We would fight and talk about, I mean, not racism necessarily, but I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes I just tell her, "Mom, you can't say that. That's racist." And then she's like, "I'm not racist." Kind of like the fluffy person that was up here. Oh my
Mhm.
God, she reminded me a lot of my mom, and it
Mm.
was annoying the hell out of me. Part of
Mhm.
me was like, I wish my mom was still here so I could fight with her about racism.
Aw. Oh, I'm sending you hugs too. I appreciate you for even, sharing your story with us and even getting, down to it because, not even being able to have these conversations, in the household will, either push you one or two ways like, okay, I'm just gonna succumb to all of the racist things and be what I see, or try to figure out like, okay, no, this is not right. I want to do something different. Was your household Christian?
Um, my we weren't a church going family, but my mom um definitely believe she I mean she was a Christian. She believed in God. She never went to church. I don't know if there was some trauma there or what, but she was very when I got we live in a very Christian community. Um and when I started getting involved in kind of trying to go to youth groups with friends and stuff, she was very much against me going to youth
Yeah.
group, which was I thought was strange because like you believe in God. And when I started listening to some contemporary Christian music, she was like always making fun of my music. So it was kind of a weird dynamic, but definitely yes, Christian
Mhm.
or God believing. I should say that.
She knew what they was doing in those churches.
That's what I
Well,
was thinking.
she wasn't sexually abused in the church, but she was also a victim of sexual abuse, and she had very strong opinions about like those nasty pastors, as you just call them. So
Mhm.
Can I ask you a personal question?
me,
Yeah.
sure.
So you just said your mother was a victim as well. Was it also her dad?
No, it was. Long story short, she was babysitting for her would be her aunt, so she was babysitting her cousins, and she had some teenage boy cousins that had friends over while she was supposed to be watching the little babies, and they got her high and drunk and raped her at like I want to say 10 or 11 years old, and she became pregnant because of it.
Oh wow. Was it you guys or your older brothers or sisters?
No, she didn't have me until her 30s.
Mhm. She had an abortion?
Um, she, I mean, she would kind of sometimes when she'd be in her schizophrenic episode, she'd scream and cry about it and scream at the voices in her head. So the best of my understanding is that she miscarried the baby, but then there were some rumors that she threw herself down a flight of stairs to miscarry. I don't know
Mhm.
exactly. But she was very young, 10 or 11.
Mhm. But she didn't have that baby for sure though.
She did not.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Who was the first person you told what happened to you?
The molestation,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been my mother.
And outside of your mother, because you said that she didn't really believe you.
No, my dad didn't believe me.
So the mom did most definitely is what I was about to text telling the truth. But um the mom did believe her. The mom did believe her. I think Wait, you talk. Took's up at the top. Her mom believed her. Her dad didn't believe her because he didn't believe that it was his dad that did it. Which is I'm turn. If I'm not mistaken, telling YT Truth said that her mom didn't believe. If I'm not mistaken, right, Telling?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Did your dad believe? Oh, your dad should. Your daddy was a motherfucking crazy motherfucker. Respectfully, disrespectfully, because fuck him for
I
doing
just
that.
told my dad.
And you told your
Yeah,
dad
no,
about. You
seriously.
just told him recently, right?
Yeah, I just told my dad and my mom about my brother. Yeah.
And what did your dad say?
And he opened up. I mean, he was pretty upset about the situation, but do I think he really had like a lot of sympathy? I don't think so. He was a very I don't know, just a very cold-hearted individual, I will say, and didn't really show much emotion at all. I remember like when he was off of Smugs at one point, he that's when it kind of you can kind of tell he came back to reality because he got like back pay off of something and felt bad at some point, like called me crying and was like, oh, I'm gonna send he sent me like $500 and I told him, I was like, wholeheartedly, like I will forgive you because that's just the type of being I am, but if we don't have a relationship moving forward, then I always look at it in the light, like, I'm gonna let, the Lord deal with it. And just kind of move forward and forgive for my own mental, so that way I don't hold that hate in my heart. So that way I can move forward as a being. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I look at it.
What is another question I was about to ask you? Oh, did your sister talk to your dad at all?
No. So it was his yeah, that was his bonus daughter, his stepdaughter.
So he probably.
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
Right. And she was at the house by the time I was in kindergarten.
And she was one.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
You said she was one.
Yeah, she was out of the house by the time I was in kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't
Did she
really
talk
even
to
get
your
to grow up
mom?
with. She just started talking to my mom. Crazy enough, she ended up having kids, and her husband ended up essaying one of her oldest daughter, and this is why I hate religion. She was Catholic. He was Catholic, married into that family. So Catholics don't believe in divorcing, right? She ended up, and I don't speak to her no more because of this. She chose her spouse's side over her daughter.
After what happened to her? Is this a
After her
bonus daughter
daughter,
too, or this is his
no,
biological daughter?
his biological daughter. Yep.
And she chose
I
him.
over her kids. Yep. And lost all three of them to DHS. Now I will say one has two kids, the one that was raped and has hid it from her husband and now talks to him, which I find very ironic and weird. I haven't spoke to her in years, just
Hold
because
on. Hold on. Is this the sister?
So my niece is married now, who was the
Victim.
victim of the
Or
rape.
survivor.
Yeah. So they
So the
they hid
niece,
it.
how old is she now? She grown?
She's she would be 22 or 22.
And she has children?
Yeah, she has two of them.
But she didn't tell your sister?
No, my sister was aware of the whole situation, but was chose her spouse. But now that they're older, my niece didn't tell her husband about it, and has kept it hush hush. And she won't talk to any of us because she's afraid that we will tell him of what happened.
I mean, it do gotta be her choice to tell them because just
Yeah.
like
Oh
other
yeah.
people take
Absolutely.
forever to come out and say something.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I find it very ironic that like she even allows her children around. I mean, maybe it's, some type of, I know that messes with somebody mentally, and I know some people, don't pull out of the whole um pull out of it mentally, right?
Right, because that's their
And
parent.
don't away. Right, right.
So your sister and your sister's husband, they babysit the kids, the
Y-
grandbabies.
From my understanding, I'm not sure. I know they go over for like events and stuff. I'm not sure if they babysit because I don't really even speak to my sister.
Because after that shit, why was
But
she?
she's yeah. I mean, honestly, karma's kind of came back and bit her in the ass because she's had like, several she had breast cancer
Mm,
at one point, survived that luckily. But now she's like she's heavily overweight and not doing so good and is with a drunk. So I mean,
mm.
I'm a big believer in, if you don't choose, you're here to choose your children, especially in that type of situation. It'd be a cold day in hell before I ever choose a man who did something like that over my children.
WTO.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it's a weird scenario, honestly. So
Yeah, she said there was drugs involved. Methanese.
yep. And even
Um.
my little brother, he came out, and I didn't know he was a Satan by my older brother either.
Oh
But
my
he just
god.
came out recently too. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then
And my
unless you
mom,
get any type of therapy or even deconstruct just everything that you've been taught and deal with it, you'll either get with somebody like your dad, like your sister did, and do in your be an example like my mom stayed or my mom came back. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do.
no,
Like
hell
you have
no.
to be the example. Like these kids will grow up and do the same thing, even if they say they never would. They just fall into it when they aren't able to deal with it or talk about it. Um, Give me a follow if you guys are not done. So let's take a little quick breather, and then Saji, I got you, and then I'll bring in Jules, and I'll ask one more question, and we'll start wrapping it up. First of all, thank y'all so much for being on this panel, and thank y'all for your transparency. Thank you for your honesty. My heart goes out to you. I'm sending y'all lots and lots of love and hugs. And congratulations for even getting out. I know it's not ever easy, and it's still a going process, but just getting out of it and just understanding yourselves more and just hugs, hugs, hugs. Give me a follow if you guys have not done so. Everybody take a quick deep breath. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw muscles, unclench your hands because I know we all ready to fight they daddy and a couple of their mamas and sisters. But give me a follow if you got us. I have not done so before. We got 4 more corgis to get before the end of the night, and then I'll do my last big gift for the end of the night. Oh, Jesus. I'm still working through it. I'm sorry, y'all. We have $50 left in the dono tonight. 5 people, $10. 10 people, $5. We can get it. It's 145 people in here. You can donate to I'm Jessica Simone on the blue or green, as Hector would say, the dash cap or the Spendo, Spinmo or whatever. I appreciate all the love that you guys have been sending, all the engagement, and also to the grace in the comments. I appreciate it. Start off with way rocky today, okay? Shout out to Toops for hanging in there with us because she was literally the first, well, second person. I forgot that one guy came up here. Wasn't even might he's just like, I just want to come up here. Boy, get out of here. Um Now I'm gonna chunk it up to the Monday blues. Um Go ahead, Saji.
Um, yeah, guys, please first before I say that, please make sure we're supporting Jess. We've been here. This is a really important conversation, and it is also a very triggering and heavy conversation. So we want to make sure we're supporting the live, showing Jess love for being able to hold these safe spaces and these very educational spaces. So let's go ahead and wrap up her goal, both of her goals.
Yes.
Easy.
Thank you, Amanda. Drop some coconuts for Amanda. I appreciate you.
I also wanted to ask, telling YT Truth and Tooks, who was the safe person? Who was the first person that you spoke to who actually said, hey, that was effed up? Because it sounds like the first people you went to did not see something wrong with what happened or dismissed it, didn't believe it. But if you remember, who was this first safe person who you were able to turn to?
The guy that I'm with now, he was the first person that I told.
Tooks.
To the best of my knowledge, either me or my twin, because I have a twin sister and it happened to both of us. She told my mom nearly right away, or within like this, we were young when it happened. And my mom did try to get us, she did report it to the police and she tried to get us counseling, but my dad put her in the hospital and told everyone she was crazy. He put her in a mental hospital.
Jules, welcome into the live. How are you? Jules, have you been up here before? I feel like you may have.
No, I haven't, but I know Sajida, so I found you through her.
Oh, shout out to Saji. We love Saji over here, okay? W Saji in the chat. Welcome in, Jules. What was it that made you start deconstructing racism?
Honestly, it was probably around 2020 when the whole George Floyd situation happened. I didn't realize how much police violence and brutality there was. So that started a lot of my interest in politics, I guess, and like learning more and wanting to be a better person and a better advocate for other minorities, So that I think really opened my eyes.
Gotcha. And what were some things you feel like you started to do to kind of like to deconstruct, to help you deconstruct? Thank you, sweetness.
Just talking to, I guess, like Black people and hearing their experiences, with police brutality and like witnessing it, like on the news and just seeing how it was dehumanizing, I guess. And I've always learned that dehumanizing is disgusting. I feel like it happens so often nowadays. You just dehumanize people because of their skin color. So I feel like that was a big red flag to me as well.
Were your parents racist?
In the context of the Zionism, I would say they are. But I don't know about in general, but I would say that's racist.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Like Zionism, they are, because I'm Jewish. So I don't know if you've heard my story, but I've been deconstructing that as well and still trying to unlearn everything. So that's been a process.
What were some things that you felt like they would say that let you know, like, okay, you must be Zionist?
It's really bad.
Well, don't say the slur word. Like, if I would be like, don't say the
they
N word,
wouldn't.
you'd be
No,
like,
no,
oh, they
no.
would say the N
No,
word with hard.
they wouldn't. I mean, no.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would be okay with saying that.
I mean, they say it. They say
I
it.
mean,
Like, we've had
yeah.
these conversations. They say it, But I'm saying,
Yeah.
like, you don't have, when you repeat what they say, don't say the actual word, is what I
Well,
was saying.
I would not say that.
Okay.
No.
But
No.
what were some things that would say, like, oh, you're Zionist?
Like saying the terrorist Arabs and they all just hate the Jews. Like, I just knew that was wrong, that you're just calling a whole group of people, including children, like Tias. Like that felt really wrong to me because I was watching like children be boom to death, and like that, I guess, kind of opened my eyes. because I was just watching that and I was like, there's no way that this could be like moral.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stand for it.
Yeah.
So
W. Are
thank you.
they? I guess are Jews? I don't know. They're Jewish. I would say, are they Christian? What type of
No, we're all Jewish.
church? Yeah, like Orthodox. The like don't do anything on
They're
Saturday.
not like super Zionists. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're more like liberal Zionists, I guess, which is
Mm-hmm.
annoying.
Trump supporters.
But no, no one. My grandma, but no one else. We all hate Trump.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so it's not like terrible, but it's still like enough for me to
Mm-hmm.
not enjoy it.
Do you have
But
those hard conversations with them?
well, I said it was a genocide and they were arguing with me over that. But I viewed it as a genocide and I think a lot of scholars do.
G-side, just for TikTok.
Genocide, sorry, genocide. But yeah, I couldn't convince them it was a G side. I mean, my dad's side was just saying I was like stuck on the word instead of like addressing the point
Mm-hmm.
and just being like, well, I just think it's wrong. Can't I just say it's wrong? And I was like, yeah, but I feel like we have to address the root of the problem here,
Yeah.
which is the fact that there's an occupation. So yeah, it's been a lot and I've felt very alone in that regard.
And I get that, like, that's why a lot of people they even either go one way or another one or another because they either go one way or another because when you do have these conversations, with your parents, they'll ostracize you. They'll you don't have any either money, access, or anything, so it's easier for people to fall back into it and be complicit and just go along with it than it is to, stand up.
Mhm.
So,
I feel like when I watched what happened to my people in the H cost, like I always learned not to dehumanize, and that was such a thing that stood with me like throughout my life because I had H cost survivors come to my school like all the time. Like I think I had like 4 or 5 H cost survivors like talk to us.
mhm.
And I just remember being like in shock that this happened to my people.
And then they'll be turning around doing it to
Right.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
was a lot to unpack there. Still unpacking. I think every day I try to be a better advocate for people.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm still unlearning, And I don't want to say like unlearning racism, but like being a better advocate against racists. But like we need to deconstruct it in the first place.
Yeah.
I think you can be inherently racist as a white person.
Mhm.
So that's another thing.
I think that people think because you don't say the N word or you're not
Yeah,
beating up people that you're not
I agree.
racist. Even
Yeah.
just upholding the system in any type of way or not even speaking against it, that's not right. I don't think they understand like being implicitly was it biasly implicit? Somebody said that earlier on the YouTube. Thank y'all for being in here. Good night, Wizard. I appreciate you. Shout out to the Ultimate Chat Warrior as well. Everybody that's over here, I appreciate it. Um, oh, were there any conversations that were off limits in your household?
No, I feel like we're all pretty open about our opinions,
Mhm.
but I would get a lot of arguments, especially with Israel,
Mm,
which is the biggest argument I think I've had, and capitalism.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I would sit there and be like, I think capitalism is like morally wrong. And they'd be like, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is.
It disintegrates the soul. It makes you do things like overturn versus Wade so you can have more babies and
Right.
then get rid of the education so that they won't be smart enough to be innovative, but they'll just be workers. And then you just have them work for you for damn near for free. And Also to keep slavery, but just put it in the prisons, but then also to put people in prison, wrongfully accuse them of something so that you can get free labor.
Yep.
Right.
It's fucked up.
Okay. Saji, go ahead. No?
On that topic of capitalism, like I said, I've been with the book that I've been reading. It's crazy, like the writings, right?
Thank you, Thank you, Hybrid. I appreciate you. Draw some coconuts for Hybrid in the chat. Oh, and said thanks. I appreciate you so much. Sending you hugs too, baby. Because I know this has been a heavy conversation, y'all. So, and we have 35 left in tonight's goal. We're about to start wrapping up after Saji. We're gonna get everybody's last thoughts, and I'll let you guys go, and we'll be picking this again up tomorrow too. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll skip that. That way I can ask my question.
Mhm.
And guys, please let's finish out Jess's goal. It is only 35. Please send 35. I know y'all. I know. I know y'all got it. We gotta give each other the privilege. We gotta give each other, the support. We can't wait for somebody else to do it for us. So,
Mhm.
what I wanted to ask, because Took said something in the comments, and it's something, member, just I've been talking about. And my question was, is there any white tea people that have gone down the route of
Mm.
deconstructing their racism, that grew up with a happy family, with a privileged life, and who never struggled or suffered at the hands of a white tea person? Because something that I've noticed on every white tea person who's deconstructed is they had to experience that brutality, that savagery, the inhumanity from another white tea person before they were able to be like, hey, there's something wrong with our people. And actually now I can see what they've been doing to other marginalized communities. Like, I haven't yet met someone who grew up, had a happy life, money, privileges, great friends, and was like, you know what? I want to figure out what we're doing wrong.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they exist. I haven't met one, but
Also, too, I wonder.
That would be like not too far off from me though, Sajida.
Say that again, Jules.
Like what she was just describing. I feel like I grew up very privileged. Like not only as a white person, but just in general.
Mhm.
And I acknowledge that. And I feel like I feel guilty a lot of the time instead of grateful about that, because I watch like what's happening to other people that are struggling, and then I feel like really bad, But I mean I grew up with other things, but you know,
Mhm.
it just money wise.
I wonder, do you feel like you um seen any of your family members, albeit a immediate household, church, or somebody display that type of either behavior or rhetoric or talk to other people when they didn't deserve it?
No, no, well, no, I don't think so. No. Just like being an asshole in general, but not because of race. Like
Yeah.
just a general being a dick. Like yeah, I wouldn't say it was because of race though.
And I would also think too, maybe I'm gonna put you on mute. You got a really bad echo. I think also too, maybe because they justify it to their kids and to each other. Oh, they're this, that, and the other, and then they plaster it on the media. Look at them. They're this, that, and the other. Then they falsely accuse them and arrest them. Look, I told you they're this, that, and the other. They should have did this, and they use a bunch of different ways to continuously justify what they're saying. Right? Thank you, Mo. Thank you for knocking out that last go. And they use it to justify whatever they're saying. And it isn't until you experience it like, "Oh, motherfucker, you're lying." Or especially like I always say, in order for them to hold up it's hard for them to hold up the lie when you're hanging around the truth every day, which is why they need us to be divisive and segregated. Because I want you in this homeschool. I want you in this little town. Because if you don't see black people go to school, black people are at least not a quite a few of them, or Latino, Latina, Latinx, or Asian, or Indian, or whatever, then I can tell you whatever lie I want, and I can make you believe it by just showing you per the media, per the news, or whatever. But it isn't until you start really experiencing other people and you realize they're not like that, and then you look back at your family who has been doing all the things they said other people were doing, to where sometimes you're like, what the fuck is really going on? But like, I do think also too, the George, with George Floyd, um, being able to see, like, it's only so much, which I don't even realize why, like, even Philando Castile, they unalived him in the from the passenger seat while his baby was back in the back seat. The Trayvon Martins, the Timmer Rice, the Sandra Bland, the Breonna Taylors, they always try to find some way to justify it and digging in their past. Um, but I think also too with George, you just watched them. We watched it on. You just couldn't deny it. But I think they try to justify it with media, news, journalism, and just keep the rhetoric up to feel like they're superior. Because, like, I think somebody came up here and said my family was pretty much like with the epitome of white trash, and they still felt like somebody owed them. But we're at to close it up. We'll be picking this back up tomorrow night. You guys are definitely welcome to come back. I appreciate y'all sharing your your stories with us. Y'all are amazing women. I appreciate it. Jules, any last words, Mom? Just your big oh yeah, good looking,
Yeah.
good looking.
Thank you for hosting this live.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. These conversations need to be had.
I agree.
Have a good night, love.
Good night, guys.
Bye, Jules.
Telling white tea truths. Any let me see what's in my gallery.
Host, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, chat, for being also very understanding, very kind as well, and just an open ear. It's not in today's society, you don't find too much of that nowadays. So I appreciate you guys so much.
No problem.
It was very emotional to have that conversation. So I
I
appreciate
bet, and I appreciate you and your admire your courage for being able to have that conversation. Thank you so much for coming up.
you guys have a blessed night.
You too. You're always welcome back too, Telling.
Absolutely.
Good night. Alrighty then. Tukes, thank you so much for your patience. You've been here you've been here the whole 3 hours and 47 minutes, I feel like.
Yeah, thank you so much for this learning opportunity. You are literally, I'm gonna sound like extra white saying this. You are literally the first person of color that I have actually spoken to other than ordering fast food from someone.
Really?
Literally.
Other than your kids?
Well, no, I don't have.
I mean, your sister's kids, foster kids.
Well, yes, and that was just kind of caretaking for them, occasionally babysitting, and they were just little kids to me, and I wasn't in depth, personal conversations or anything like that. But something that was pointed out to me through like text messaging. I've been watching. I'm TikTok dumb. I could keep telling myself. I don't know how TikTok works yet, but I'm trying to get on TikTok. And learn these things. And someone told me, like, you live in an isolated area. You don't know any Black people. How can you even deconstruct if you don't go out and talk to? I'm sorry, not Black people of color, right? So,
that's the thing, because I'm okay with Black people. Okay.
Okay.
I just don't want to be called the Blacks.
Oh.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I appreciate you for doing this, and I
feel honored almost, like, because your first experience, well, being able to have these deep conversations could go any type of way. So I'm glad that you was able to have this conversation with us, and I appreciate your transparency and your honesty.
Yeah, and I commend you for how patient you are with people that are just completely unreasonable. I don't know how you guys have the patience. I was muting myself and making. I was like, screaming into the phone because I was like, no, you can't say that. Like that is. How can you not see what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Well, you're definitely welcome back anytime. Okay. Make sure you give
I
me a
follow.
follow if you're not done so. Also, too, if you see that little heart me thing up there, there's a you click on that, you can turn on your notifications. Everybody in here, make sure you click on that little where you get your daily heart me. You can turn on your notifications because sometimes they be acting a little funny. Because when we're having these conversations, it brings people together, and they want to keep us divisive. So I appreciate you. I'm gonna drop you down. Thank you so much
Okay.
again.
Yeah, I don't know how to get out of here.
No, I got you. I'm gonna drop you. Oh my God, that was amazing. All is well if it ends well. It started off got a little shaky around this bitch, okay? Oh, it was shaking, baby. I feel like Jesus came down himself and started flipping over tables. But we made it through, you guys. Any last words, Saji?
Motherfucker said
I
I'm
love your laugh.
he said I'm white, okay?
I laughed so hard.
Look, I literally could have overlapped, like do a little layover, and the head would have matched perfectly to the whole
my God! Hey! Shout out to Big LL, not the little one. Fuck is you talking about? We got kitty cats running across this hole. Drop some coconuts in the chat right now. Great show.
Oh
Thank
my
you so much.
God.
I appreciate it. Oh, I got to watch it again.
That hyped me up.
I
That
know,
hyped
me
me up.
too.
I was like, oh my God. Listen, that guy pissed me the hell off. But I'll say two things. I'll say two things.
Hold on, really quick. Hyber said, my cat just leapt off of my chest after you yelled. I'm sorry, little kitty cat. Oh my God. Okay, go ahead.
Not the just scratched their eye out. Y'all make sure to have your headphones pulled in
Oh my
and
goodness.
enjoy the ride.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Okay, there's so much to wrap up. First of all, bitches and hoes, it is not in your First Amendment right to be racist. But if you so choose to use your First Amendment right to be racist, you can count on us using our second, okay? Period. Period.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. W Saji, y'all. Coconuts for
Second.
Saji. No, put some chili peppers in the chat.
Second of all, oh my gosh, I got a good series here. Second of all, for all of the people that suffered any of the stuff that we listened to in this live today, it was not your fault. And I am so sorry that you had nobody safe to turn to. And as a child, you deserve someone who believed you and who loved you and who protected you. And this is the one time that I'll give anything to YT people, only because I felt the sincerity coming in from telling YT truth and
Tooks.
and how do you say it?
Tooks.
Tooks.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Fluffy. And then my last thing. Sorry, y'all. You already know. I have to like laugh in between. I'll go crazy. This is my important announcement. And just as like, bitch, I said final words, not
No, go ahead, go ahead.
dissertation.
I mean, come on. You got the floor, baby. You got the floor. You got dibs in this bitch, okay?
Oh man. And second of all, or third of all, and last of all, but not least important of all, tomorrow is a very important day. Tomorrow's October 14th.
Oh, George
And
Floyd birthday.
it is George Floyd's birthday. And I'm gonna need every single one of y'all to make at least one post and share every post that you come across tomorrow, because we are not fucking Charlie pendejadas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that man does not deserve a single post tomorrow, and we know why they're gonna do it. We know why they're gonna piss us off to try to take away. So we're gonna give it to ourselves. We're gonna give it to each other. Jesus, my kid is so loud.
He had a long week, okay?
PE is hard these days, bro. PE is tearing his ass. But no, on a real note, please make a post tomorrow for George Floyd. You know, it doesn't have to take too long, right? Be
Mhm.
do whatever you can, but post it. And yes, I agree with Mallory. Let's have a CK boycott day tomorrow. Don't even mention him.
At
Don't
all.
even acknowledge him. Drop people, mute people. We're not speaking about that
If
piece
they
of
come
trash.
in the comments tomorrow too, speaking about him, you guys,
Mute.
don't even at them. Ignore them like they mama do, okay? Ignore them like they mama do. You're invisible. Don't say shit to their ass. I was gonna be like, who? I ain't gonna say who. I'm just gonna keep on going. So we'll probably, when we first get started, have like just the ode to George Floyd. And yeah, and then we'll get into our conversation for the day. And then we'll probably end it with George Floyd too. Mhm.
That was all, Jess. And I love you guys.
I love you,
Thank
Saji.
you for having me here. And did no they didn't finish
Uh-oh.
your goal?
Mm-mm. Y'all finna trouble now.
Oh hell no. Y'all sat here. Y'all sat here, okay, listening to Mr. Lightbulb. And me and Latrine passed the bottle. We went through 3 bottles in the chat. Okay. Then that whole salt raid came coming in, and we thought they were talking about a salt rim. We went to
Y'all thought they were talking about what?
the salt rim. We thought they were like, I like salt. I like salt. I was like, okay, bitch,
Oh, you
damn.
thought they was coming in talking about the drinks too?
Yeah, I was like, okay, you want a lime with it? Damn. And then it started creeping me out because it was when we had that one lady, right? And I thought that that's what it was about after. And I was like, is this some key code of like, here are the people of color? Like, I was like, what is this? Like, I have some salt. Like, what is, like how they made like DEIA and like all this shit like a keyword. I thought that was a racist. I was about to start muting the chat. But then Brett came in and said it was his thing. So I was like, okay, thank God.
So
But in
what
all
Brett?
seriousness, let's finish up that goal, y'all. $35. We have 122 people here. Just $1 each.
Mm-hmm. For
Please.
everybody. Okay, teamwork. Let's show them how unity is. Let's show them how unity is done. The shit we can do when we come together. The goals we can reach when we come together. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna be having dreams all damn night. We'll be having these conversations. Okay, they are heavy. Y'all seen the fluff I had to deal with today. Yo, and I'm like trying to get her to understand. So we're gonna talk till we get it. I know y'all want to hold me hostage, but ain't gonna happen. But I appreciate all of the love and support, you guys. Also, too, you guys know we didn't quite hit our goal for DC, but that is still separate. All of that is still going to We Are What's Left. It's I'm Jessica Simone, just in case you didn't know. It's still going to We Are What's Left. There's still some legalities. I'll use it to also to promote our creators, especially when they come in on We Are What's Left Wednesday. And it's in our merch in our merch store as well. So, and now unless somebody come through with a whole $1,300 in the next couple days, we'll still be out there. We will be in there. We still had 1,300 left, but
Cause
throughout the
cause how we gonna have people talking shit that we're going to DC and now we're not going to DC?
yeah, and tell them. Oh, well, next time they're like, "How you not going to DC now?" Just ask them, "Did you donate?" How much did you donate? Because there was $1,300 left last time I checked, and that'll shut them up real fucking quick.
Listen,
Well, my thing is the price only continues to go up the closer that we get, and then like I can't spend the whole week, pooling for it because I still got to live at the end of the day. But I still keep that separate. Like I didn't even pull that out or anything. I want to make sure that it goes towards we are what's left. So, and other than that, I'm just gonna make sure that I get our merch. Start opening up our store for our merch, some legalities, get some legal paperwork done, and as well as just promote and support our creators and just continue to do and save up as we continue to. So maybe that we'll be ready for the next thing. Y'all got a
here,
Discord? Yes, we do got a Discord. Let me get you the link.
I
Let me
have
get you
faith, Jess. You know how I told you first
anything.
time that we spoke? Remember how I told
You
you first
did.
time that we spoke that I had a dream about Jess? I didn't know Jess. Okay, this was months before I met her. I saw Jess in my dream, and she
Mhm.
was at the front of the bus telling the driver where to go and saving all of us from this like apocalyptic scenario in my
Ooh,
dream.
I hope that was
And I
metaphorical.
seriously, and I know it's going to happen. Okay, we're speaking it into existence.
Mhm.
The goal will be met. We're going to go because this is just going to bring you closer to your goal and your dream, and event. It's going to propel the goals that you have to be able to talk to the youth, right? The youth about what we need to do to save this country before we go fully on fire. So
Right. I just sent it to you, Tella. And drop some coconuts for hybrid in the chat. Said just because you deserve more, we are what's left. Period. Period, y'all. We cannot let them keep telling us who the fuck we are. Not your mama, your daddy, and definitely not the motherfucking right. We see what's on the right. We see what type of people are on the right. All the projection is just a confession. Everything that they say, we need to be looking at them fucking crazy. Looking at them fucking crazy because the shit that come out of their mouth lets me know that that's them. That is them. Shut the fuck up, bitch! Shut the fuck up!
I'm screaming with Jess.
Bitch, I can't breathe. Hold on. What the fuck? Are you serious? I don't want to see nothing but coconuts right now. Nothing but coconuts right now. Nothing but cocoa notes right now.
Jess, I have a tear rolling down my left eye.
Oh my God.
Please.
Bitch, I can't fucking breathe. Oh my God. Well, at least let me tell you something right now. We're booking flights tonight. Big motherfucking coconuts for LM in the chat. And when you don't know, every time you come in this bitch, like, what up? What up, big LM? Okay, big LM, never the little one. I'm gonna cry in the shower.
Girl.
What the fuck?
Oh my God. Jess.
We'll figure out the fucking room and everything else. We're booking our flights tonight, so so they won't be telling us we won't be fucking going to DC because we going to see. We going to see. Bitch. Oh my God! Hold on, cause bitch, no. YouTube, I gotta go. I love y'all.